Be a girl with a mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. To commemorate the International Women's Day this year, Ejiro Osakede, host of the Afrocentrist podcast, presents the Becoming Summit. 3 days of knowledge sharing, bringing women from all over the world. Over 10 speakers from over 4 countries. Theme: Becoming Women in Leadership. Date: March 19th to 21st, 2021. Time: 1 to 3 p.m. GMT plus 4 on 19th and 20th, and 6 to 9 p.m. GMT plus 4 on day 3, which is 21st, 2021. Attendance is free, but registration is required. Register today by visiting bit.ly/CB Summit. The Becoming Summit. Becoming Women in Leadership.
I am becoming a stronger woman. I am becoming an empowered woman. I am becoming an influential woman. I am becoming a woman of outstanding success. The Becoming Summit for every woman who chooses to challenge herself to be extraordinary. Friday, March 19th to Sunday, March 21st. Learn to lead, take initiative, innovate, and be more.
Be a girl with a mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. To commemorate the International Women's Day this year, Ejiro Osakede, host of the Afrocentrist podcast, presents the Becoming Summit. 3 days of knowledge sharing, bringing women from all over the world. Over 10 speakers from over 4 countries. Theme: Becoming Women in Leadership. Date: March 19th to 21st, 2021. Time: 1 to 3 p.m. GMT plus 4 on 19th and 20th, and 6 to 9 p.m. GMT plus 4 on day 3, which is 21st, 2021. Attendance is free, but registration is required. Register today by visiting bit.ly/CB Summit. The Becoming Summit. Becoming Women in Leadership.
I am becoming a stronger woman. I am becoming an empowered woman. I am becoming an influential woman. I am becoming a woman of outstanding success. The Becoming Summit for every woman who chooses to challenge herself to be extraordinary. Friday, March 19th to Sunday, March 21st. Learn to lead, take initiative, innovate, and be more.
Be a girl with a mind, a woman with attitude, and a lady with class. To commemorate the International Women's Day this year, Ejiro Osakede, host of the Afrocentrist podcast, presents the Becoming Summit. 3 days of knowledge sharing, bringing women from all over the world. Over 10 speakers from over 4 countries. Theme: Becoming Women in Leadership. Date: March 19th to 21st, 2021. Time: 1 to 3 p.m. GMT plus 4 on 19th and 20th, and 6 to 9 p.m. GMT plus 4 on day 3, which is 21st, 2021. Attendance is free, but registration is required. Register today by visiting bit.ly/CB Summit. The Becoming Summit. Becoming Women in Leadership.
I am becoming a stronger woman. I am becoming an empowered woman. I am becoming an influential woman. I am becoming a woman of outstanding success. The Becoming Summit for every woman who chooses to challenge herself to be extraordinary. Friday, March 19th to Sunday, March 21st. Learn to lead, take initiative, innovate, and be more.
Here is a special dedication to everyone who has a vision and is going through things that make you think you won't get there. This song is for you. When I look into the world, I see my dreamland, but it's far from me now, and it's getting farther. Many have gone through this lane. They have stories to tell. Some are good and some are bad, but I've made up my mind that my story will be pleasant and pleasing to hear. Though it's wrong, I am tough, and I know I will make it. I will get there some way, someday, somehow. I will get there. Oh, I've made up my mind. Sitting there in the morning, right in front of the mirror, wondering if I'll ever make it, 'cause of things happening around me. And then I heard this little voice say to me, my child, you're going to make it. And then it dawned on me that I am made for the top. So no matter what it takes, I am ready for this journey. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. Oh, yeah. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. I will get there someday, some way, somehow. Oh, and I know that I will get there someday, some way, somehow. I will get there. Oh, I will get there. I've made up my mind.
I am becoming a stronger woman. I am becoming an empowered woman. I am becoming an influential woman. I am becoming a woman of outstanding success. The Becoming Summit for every woman who chooses to challenge herself to be extraordinary. Friday, March 19th to Sunday, March 21st. Learn to lead, take initiative, innovate, and be more.
Wow, the day that we have long looked forward to is finally here. Excitement fills the air. And as calm as I can be, I'll try to be, but the truth is I'm excited. Good to have you here. Good to have you register. Good to have you present, participating. Welcome to the first maiden, that is, edition of the Becoming Summit. It is going to be a series. So this is the first one that we're having today. I'm hoping that you're as excited as I am today. I'm going to be the host for day one. I am Aziza Shofunde, and it is an interesting thing to know that yes, it is still March, and of course, we are still celebrating women. We are still celebrating leadership of women across spheres of life. So it's an exciting privilege to have me, for me, to host this day one. All right, so yes, if you are ready, let me know if that is at your end too, please. And feel free to use the comment section. Let us have you register your presence and, of course, your excitement that this is beginning, because it's a challenge for us. It is the first step at challenging yourself, wanting to become a strong woman, an outstanding success story for this generation and, of course, the generation to come. Okay, so without much ado, there are a lineup of speakers that we will be having for day one all the way to day three. For today, we'll be having very, very well experienced entrepreneurs, authors, media entrepreneurs, and of course, community leaders. That's the label that we give to all four of them. They will be pouring their experience on us, sharing what they have built and experience across board, and of course in the course of their expressions of leadership and confidence. Today, being the intro of this summit, I would like to bring on board the convener, who is going to say a little about why this is on, and of course why we should expect so much that will be happening all through the day today. So yes, let's see that we get a welcome note from her today. Ejiro.
Thank you so much, Aziza. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Good morning. Good morning to those in Nigeria. Good afternoon to those in the UAE. I am super excited. Like, gosh. You know how you are excited and nervous at the same time? That's exactly how I feel right now. But thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being a part of the Becoming Summit, the maiden edition, by the way, because I think the Becoming Summit is here to stay, and I'm super excited. Okay, you might want to ask, like, what is this about the Becoming Summit? So at first, it started out as, just me wanting to celebrate women in the month of March, knowing that International Women's Day was March 8th, and then you have the Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day on 14th of March, just, last week. And I'm like, you know what? I just want to celebrate women all through the month of March. And it started as, okay, you know what? Let me just kind of celebrate them using my podcast. But after, deliberating with some of my coaches, my mentors, they're like, you know what? How about you just have a summit? I'm like, yeah, that would be great. And then I can't explain how all of this came together, because I just feel like it's favor. I was super favored, and it's just been an amazing, it feels like God handed me this vision, and I'm just birthing it. And I'm just so excited, and I feel privileged and honored to be hosting you, to be the convener of this summit. Hopefully, more series to come, featuring men, women, but just people with amazing stories and, amazing content to share. So today, Like you already know from all the, promotion and publicity that we're having 3 days, and this is just day one. So let's keep the energy coming in the comment section. Be here. This is a free summit, but what you are paying to be here is your attention. So please pay attention and get all the value that you need to get from all the speakers, because they are ready, set, just about to click on go for them to begin to release all the value that they are bringing on board for you. So today we are focusing on community leadership. So for women here, I am super sure, because I know that as women, we are beings of multitasking. We are beings of different flows. We are able to function in different roles at the same time, right? For every woman, the minimum roles that you carry as a woman, as a female gender, is probably 4. The least, the minimum is 4. You are a daughter, you are a woman, you are a sister, right? And then maybe a friend to somebody. So you carry value, and you are able to express in different expressions. So today we're talking about community, and there's such great power in community, right? Whether it be a business community, a social community, a special interest community. Community is just so great. And so we are focusing on leadership in the space of community today. And so all our speakers are community leaders. They are doing amazing work in their different communities. And based on the type of communities that they are on, that's what they'll be speaking from. And so sit back, relax, enjoy every section. Make sure you also network, right? In the comment section, if you see somebody like, oh, I like you, just kind of mention their names, and then probably look out for them, look out for their full names and search for them on social media and follow them up, because we're also meant to network in this session and connect with other people, okay? So I cannot wait to see all the values that you're getting from this summit. And as they come, as the speaker says something that hits you, please type it in the comment section. Let's pick it up. We are going to be creating, posters for me that you can share with your friends. Also, you can click on the link of this YouTube channel, click on the share button and share to your network so that they can join us on this, this summit, right? And then just let's have fun today. I am so excited and super glad that you're here to be a part of the summit today. Yes. Also, just tell us where you're connecting from. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm going to leave you now back with my host, my darling sister, my soul sister, my support system every time, every day. Thank you so much, sister, for being here. I'm going to leave you in the hands of Zazie, and I'll be backstage navigating with my guest, my special guest that said yes. Whew, it's just so exciting. All right, guys, let me not bore you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, who runs the world? We. Who runs the world? We men. Who runs the world? We. Who runs the world? We men. We men. Yes, just because of planning this, we came up with that song, and I promised us that we are going to sing that song. So who runs the world? It is we men. Yeah. However you want to interpret it, it is just us. Okay, yes, it is still the Becoming Summit, the very first edition, and you can definitely already guess that it's going to be an interesting time, because the key thing that we are putting out this form is so that we can challenge ourselves to become more, to become stronger, and of course to aspire and work for outstanding success stories. All right, so remember that you can still invite more people to join us, so that they will not miss out on this. This is streaming live on YouTube as well. Do not forget to also join us via the platform if other people would prefer to join via that platform. Right, without much ado, let us go into the world of our very first speaker, who is going to be telling us a whole lot that will open our minds to community leadership. Enjoy.
Helen Maria Turker, founder and CEO of Women Talk. Helen is an award-winning entrepreneur and a worthy recipient of the GCC Woman of Wonder I Conquer 2020 Dubai Awards. As an author and career expert, She inspires, encourages, and stimulates women's development, acting as a catalyst for change, making a difference in their lives. Under her guidance and mentorship, the Women Talk team organizes and delivers networking events, personal and professional skills development seminars, courses, coaching sessions, entrepreneurship programs, and work-life and self-care retreats. She will be speaking on networking effortlessly.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I am so pleased to be here and part of this amazing platform. So thank you, Ezra, and thank you, Zazie, for hosting and just coming up with this amazing idea, because it's what's needed. So what I'm going to do is to share with you networking effortlessly. I do have some slides, so I don't know whether Ezra is going to share that with you whilst I talk through the slides. To be honest, I'm not familiar with this platform, but I trust in her in terms of what she has to share and what she will do backstage. Okay, so the introduction was all about networking effortlessly. And the way I have begun, I started with building up a network, a women's organization called Women Talks. I'm the founder and CEO. And we set up Women Talk in 2013 in the UK as a community interest company. So we're a not-for-profit organization, and we help women to build up their confidence, to motivate them to share their story. And so what I'm going to do is to share with you 4 key ways that I have networked and how I have built up Women Talk. So it's all about how we connect with one another. And it's quite important because we have to shift our mindset. And it's shifting our mindset in terms of adapting to how we do network. Back in my day, which is a long time ago, it was arranging meetings, going for lunch, discussing business over the phone, writing emails. Now it's all about technology. So what I want to do is to share with you 4 key ways. And the first one is, what do you have to offer? So it's looking at what you have to offer in terms of your product and your services. So if I can ask Adriana to go on to the next slide, please. Okay, so let me just move on. It's really looking at what do you have to offer. And I want to just to challenge you to maybe write 2 things down. What can you offer someone or an organization? 5 seconds, just write something down. What can you offer? Whether it's your time, whether it's your expertise, just something that you enjoy. Because sometimes when we start and think about what we have, it can be confusing, we become stuck. But I just want you to think in an instant, what am I really good at? It could be that you're just good at talking. It could be that you like helping others. So just 2 things. What can you offer? The next, and how Women Talk, what we offer is support. We offer support and guidance for women who want to step out their comfort zone. So we organize a series of networking events, and we have guest speakers who come along and support the ladies as well. So every month, what we offer is workshops, seminars, career coaching sessions. I'm a career coach as well as a mentor and a coach. So what I would do is to facilitate some of those workshops. So I know what we offer as an organization. And in terms of my passion, it's all about women's development. So it's identifying what you can offer. And we've collaborated with many other organizations. And that's the second part is, who can you collaborate with? Who is key in terms of your network? Okay, so it's looking at collaboration. And again, think about maybe 2 people, 2 organizations that you can collaborate with. And sometimes it's knowing who you know, because we all have connections. We all have someone where we have a list of contacts. Have a look in your phone and just even identify some of the key people or even friends or family that you can collaborate with, because it's important to know who you can trust, who can guide you, and maybe who you can work with. So just two people or 2 organizations. With Women Talk, we've collaborated with a number of organizations to deliver retreats, to also deliver seminars. And as I said, we've actually organized mini workshops, mini business expos as well, and collaborated with other speakers. Because networking is not just about exchanging your business card, it's all about who you can work with. And over the years, I've worked with so many amazing women and individuals and people, and we've become friends, lifelong friends, and friends who have championed my cause and my passion as well. Because when you collaborate, people will also champion you. They will talk about your products, they will talk about your services, because they believe in you. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. So the first one was, what do you offer? The second one was, who can you collaborate with? And thirdly is, how can you promote your products or services? But there's a couple of testimonials, because when we're collaborating, it's looking at friends and family. So if Edro can actually pull up those testimonials, because sometimes it's collaborating with friends, family, colleagues, and they're the ones who can champion you. They're the ones who can share testimonials. So if we can have the technical side to share those testimonials.
Helen is an amazing mentor. When it comes to business, she knows exactly how to maneuver her way through the business world. Throughout the year, she has advised and supported me on my business journey. She has definitely helped to ease the burdens. Days where I felt like it was just impossible, she would make it possible with the immeasurable amount of knowledge that she possesses when it comes to business. And especially her patience and her humility. She is so honest and she's so kind when it comes to knowing exactly what you need, when you need, and how you need it done. So if there's a person that you're looking for, I recommend Helen Tucker all the way.
Hi. So that was Olivia's founder of ScriptFit, and it was a meeting and just sitting down with her and going through what she needed for her business. And it was all about coaching and mentoring. So when you're coming to collaborate, I know I can go to Olivia and she will champion. She's an amazing woman who's actually built up her business. And another lady who I collaborated with was Nisha Shivram. She's part of Talksopedia. She set up Shine and Talk, which is all about allowing people to present themselves. So that's the second video. You can have that.
Hi, my name is Nisha Shivram. I'm a speaker trainer residing in Qatar, and a few years ago I had this opportunity to work with Helen on an HR related project for a transport company here in Qatar. As a very professional individual who believes in fulfilling the tasks that have been assigned to her on time. So she's very particular about deadlines, and the one quality that I have seen in Helen is she is very well organized. She is someone who is committed and dedicated to her job, and I have attended a few workshops that Helen had done on women leadership, and I must say that she is someone, who has got these qualities to captivate her audience, and she has got great ideas, and she knows how to work on those ideas and how to turn it into reality. So if you are looking for a professional, if you're looking for someone who can deliver the results on time, who is well organized, who is, who is knowledgeable, who is an expert in her field, then Helen is your answer. And Helen, I wish you all the very best for all the new ventures that you have entered into, and I'm sure you will do a great job as always.
So there we go. So that's number 3, collaborate. So collaborate with friends, colleagues, people who you know, because they're the ones who will actually catapult your own products and services, because people buy from testimonials. When was the last time you watched a really good movie and you told someone about that movie and said, you need to watch this movie? And it's all about how you can get your product or service out there, and it's networking. So think of 2 ways that you can promote your product or services. The 4th way is really looking at how you can promote yourself. So again, think of 2 ways you can promote yourself. And the way I've done that through Women Talk has been through social media. And as I said, being old school, it was all about meeting people over lunch, but now I've had to adapt. I've had to get with what is happening now, leaving myself open to new experiences. So using technology, using IT skills, developing my own skills. We're in an environment where Zoom, Teams, even this new platform that Edro's introduced me to. Thank you, Edro, because I've never heard of StreamYard before, but it's something that I will really look to add to my own knowledge base. So it's about how you use technology to network, using social media, using Instagram, Facebook, which are now linked, so you don't have to spend a lot of energy just focusing on one type of platform. And then organizing events online. Because of the pandemic, we're all indoors, but it's another opportunity to organize online events. With Women Talk, we set up a branch in the UAE in 2019, and now we have over 1,200 members, which is phenomenal because we've exploited online platforms. We can access, and as this platform, as Ezra and the team have done, they can access people from around the globe, which is absolutely amazing. So when it comes to networking, it's not just networking within your own community, it's tapping into other communities around the world. So create your own virtual profile, write articles, newsletters. We write regular newsletters about Women Talk, about the events that we've had and forthcoming events, writing blogs. So it's really, really key to know that using technology is an important part of networking. Okay, so another part of promoting your services is developing your interpersonal skills. And I've shared with you that I've had to adapt to technology. And it's also talking to other people. So talk to people who you already know. Talk to people in your network. Develop good relationships. And branch out to other events that's happening around you. So it could be within your local area. I've just moved to a new area and they have a Facebook group. So I've joined that Facebook group just to know what's happening in my local area. And now that I've found out there's I can rent a venue, so I can put on my venues there, and that will generate more interest or get my services out there. So it's looking at what's happening around locally. Reconnect with dormant contacts, because as I said, we have up to 200 people in your database, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, all the social media. So again, it's developing your interpersonal skills to do those connections. I've also tapped into my own workplace. So again, even if people in your workplace don't really understand what you're offering, sometimes there could be just that one person who needs your talent, your expertise. So again, promoting your services and products is part of you developing your interpersonal skills and really networking within that community. So we've tapped into the first offer, what you're offering, who you can collaborate with, again, who you could promote your products and services. And the last part is celebrate. And I'm so excited about celebrating what you have to offer, and also celebrate others. Because when you celebrate others, it enables them to shine. So Ezra and her team have allowed us, phenomenal women, to actually shine, to actually celebrate who we are, what we're about, and celebrate as part of International Women's Day, celebrating the whole month of International Women's Day. So again, celebrate your achievements. And that will, again, also put you in the limelight of what people want, because sometimes we don't always celebrate our achievements. And I always say to my mentees or who I'm mentoring or coaching, celebrate even the smallest tasks that you've accomplished. So 2 things that you can celebrate, just write those down. Write 2 things, what you've done that you can celebrate. And then, so how you can celebrate is the fourth and final part of networking effortlessly. So it's 2 ways that you can celebrate. I want to finish off and look at, this is another way we celebrate is award ceremonies, and being involved in community events, as I've said, being part of events that happen yearly. We have certain events that happen on a regular basis. Celebrate those, celebrate with others. We've got Ramadan coming up, we've got different cultural celebrations coming up. Again, the use of podcast, how you celebrate others and yourself is really, really important. Lastly, and finally, is how you build up your credibility. And it's building your credibility is knowing what you have to offer. Really finding out and identifying what you have to offer, your product, your service, who you can collaborate with, and who you can identify and trust and get people to communicate about your product or service. And understand how you can promote your service using social media, writing about what you do, newsletters, blogs, podcasts, promote your services, and be sure to celebrate. Pat yourself on the back because you work hard. You spend a lot of time and energy and effort putting together what you have or what you want to have. So again, it's celebrating. I want to finish off by really sort of sharing my mission statement, which is all about learning to believe in yourself gives inner strength to achieve the impossible. Finally, be consistent and persistent, because when it comes to networking, you have so much that you can tap into that people want, and people do want your products or services or what you have to offer. How you can contact me, Instagram, Women Talk Today, UAE. You can also email me. I thank Ezra and her team for this fantastic platform, and I'm so looking forward to the rest of the seminar and the summit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that powerful speech. I must assure you that I had my notes and you quite enlightening for me. Thank you very much. And we hope that with this that you have shared with us, it should be added to the strength that we're going to be pumping into our aspirations. Thank you very much. Can we see
You're
the
welcome.
thank you appreciation in the comment section, people? Thank you. All right, so that's a real delivery there that we got from our very first speaker for the maiden edition of the Becoming Summit. Thank you, ma'am. She will be in the back end. Yeah, she will still be in the back end because after all the speakers are done with their insightful speeches, we will have a panel where you will have all your questions. So remember, get your notes, get your pen and paper, notes your questions there, and at the end of the 5 sessions, you would have to you have the opportunity to ask questions. Remember, you can still invite more people to join, and that is just a taste from the loaded sessions that we have for you. So I see your comments coming in. Thank you very much. Keep them coming in, and of course, keep your notes in. From this first speaker, I take believe in yourself. That confidence must be there. Be consistent, be persistent. And right after now, we will go on to the second speaker with another rich, insightful session.
Tonisha Tagoe is the CEO of Apples and Pears and now Associate Dean at a leading university. Over the past 17 years, she has developed a bespoke methodology for supporting leaders through the 5 stages of growth. In addition to supplying the tools and resources required by those who are hungry to evolve on their entrepreneurial journey. Her vision is to see budding entrepreneurs flourish using ever-evolving techniques and knowledge taken from years of practice. She draws upon her extensive experience in media to inform her unique approach to business coaching, where she emphasizes the importance of an assertive leadership style coupled with careful planning. Through passionate and personalized coaching, she teaches her students the values of being able to stand independently and having the resilience to weather anything thrown their way. She will be speaking on excelling in business.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I think, am I the only one here? Aziza, would you like me to start the presentation?
Yes, you could go right ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah,
so okay, so hello everyone. My name is Tonisha Tagoe. I am an enterprise development and startup strategist. As mentioned in the introduction, I'm also the Associate Dean of Teaching and Learning for an institution called QA Higher Education. Feel free to Google that. And we work with, we're the partnership organisation that connects quite a few different universities in London. So that's Middlesex University, Roehampton University, Ulster, London Metropolitan, a few more, 7 of them basically. And so I basically am the Dean of Teaching and Associate Dean of Teaching and Learning across all of those for London. However, my the main reason I'm here is not necessarily to talk about that, it's actually to talk to you about the topic for today, which is excelling in business. And I'm going to be talking to you about that coming from the perspective of also including some information for you about the Ladies Entrepreneurship Club, which hopefully you can see the website for, just where my name should be on the screen. So yeah, I'm going to be talking to you about that. So I created the the Ladies Entrepreneurship Club and Bootcamp, mainly because actually people ask this specific question quite often. They ask, I went to university, I studied business, I've had a few businesses, they failed. How do I really excel? How do I really achieve strong success in my business? So we only have 20 minutes. I'm going to try and go through it at a good pace, because I know my accent can be difficult for some. But I do suggest that you have your pen and paper with you just to take some notes so that you can keep up, especially if you want to look into things or act on anything I say once I'm done talking. But to really be able to achieve success in business, I think one of the main things you have to do is learn to make yourself the main character in your life. Now, the reason that this is important is because aside from all the other responsibilities and jobs that we have to do as people in our lives, if we decide to add on entrepreneurship and add on another business, we must remember that business's first sense of a corporate culture is going to reflect our personality. The decisions that the business ends up making, the way it works, the type of staff it has, it's all going to be based on us and our mental state of mind that we were in when we started the business and when we started those habits and form those habits for the organization, which will become its ultimate processes and systems, right? So if you live a lifestyle at the moment where you are not currently the main character in your life, you're probably not going to have the confidence required to be able to assert those kind of strong decisions and the correct ones and know when it's important to change them, because you're going to be used to making someone else the main character in your life or something else the main part of your life. So you need to learn to make yourself the main character. Doing that will enable you to become spoilt enough to be decisive and specific enough to know what you want to do, how you want to do it, and also to know why that is the best thing to do, because you'll be making strong, confident, informed decisions, okay? The second thing you need to do is also go into making your business a key part of your life. Now, the main way to do this is actually to design a business that will suit the life that you currently live now, as well as the life that you plan to live in the future. So if you think about it, some people say, oh, I want to have an app. I want to run an online business. I want to run an app. But they don't really understand the day-to-day workload that goes into running an app. And once they start to find that out, and the costs involved, the maintenance processes, the complexities of working with technical specialists, the fact that they can't always have what they want, the fact that they'll be spending a lot of money and not always knowing whether or not they're being scammed. Those are part of the day-to-day process of working in the online business, right? Online business world. But if you don't know that and you think to yourself, well, I'm going to make an app, and if I make this app, the app will do everything and I can sit on the beach in Mauritius and life will be fine and dandy, well, that's clearly inaccurate. The type of thing that you want to do, the type of business you want to make if you want to do something like that is selling resources, probably selling digital resources, So maybe instead of having an app, you're just selling like things that people just download. You have them prepared. Perhaps you update the stock once a year and you just upload that onto the internet and people just buy that. That will allow you to have disposable income that you can rely on. It will allow you to have income that's coming in all the time. You won't have to do anything. You can work towards financial freedom. But at the end of the day, there'll be other types of work that you have to do, which would be making sure that you're always in touch with your audience, the kind of content that they want, and that you're always updating your materials to fit the time, right? So you need to look at the type of business that you want to build and think about what that really means for you on a day-to-day basis in terms of the workload that's going to be required from you, all right? And design a business that suits the life that you live now and the life that you want to live in the future. And then the third portion of what I'm going to tell you about is the longest part, and that is about business models versus business plans. So really what you want to do is you want to create a business model around the concept and the idea that you're working with. A lot of people, when they start a business, are so used to hearing the words business plan that they think to themselves, well, of course I need a business plan. If I have a business plan, my business is going to be amazing. However, what business plans do is they expire at the end of every paragraph, because a business plan is a very predictive document. So with the business plan, you are hoping things are going to happen a certain way, and you're guessing they're going to happen a certain way. You're guessing these skills of these team members will be useful here. You're guessing that, your sales will be at this point. There's a lot of guesswork that goes into writing a business plan. And also, the reasons behind writing a business plan, historically have been about, I guess, communicating what you plan to do to, you know, banks, etc., in order to gain funding and things like that. However, it's not just the business plan that a business needs. A business also needs a business model. And of course, business models are not spoken about as often as business plans are. So the average person knows about business plans and not about business models. So what you really need to do next is go in and have a look at business models and try to understand what the concept is. I'll talk you through something called the business model canvas now, and I'll talk you through its 9 building blocks, and you can Google that and have a look at it. But more importantly than just finding a template, really learn to understand what a business model canvas is. So a business model is, have a go at filling one out for each of your ideas on the canvas, and start from there with thinking about what other organizations possibly do and try to write out their business models. If you think to yourself, you know, how would I do that? You can also Google it. So if you put business model canvas IKEA, for example, into Google, it will come up with, and you'll be given examples of business model canvases that have been filled in for IKEA. Okay, so then you can have a look at that and really try to gain an understanding of what I'm trying to describe. So the 9 building blocks for a business model. Okay, here we go, pen and paper. If you haven't been using it already, definitely want to get onto that now. So first things first is you think about this business idea. The first thing you need to think about is the key partners that you will need to work with. So who are the people that you need to work with? Who are they? And when I say partners, I don't necessarily mean that, you know, you're going to sign a partnership agreement and things like that. That's not really what I mean. But you do need to know who you will need around, who you need to exist to be able to do what you need to do. So let's look at it like, let's say I'm running a hair and beauty company and a mobile hair company. I'll go around doing people's hair. Well, key partners for me will definitely be all of the hair shops, right? I don't need to have a formal agreement with them, but if they stop selling hair, I'm going to have an issue, because I'm going to turn up to buy the hair. There's going to be no hair, and my client would have asked me to braid their hair, and I'm going to have nothing to braid it with, right? So who are these people that I need to exist? Also, in some senses, transportation companies like an Uber or the train service or those kind of logistical operations things, especially if you physically move yourself around, and especially if you're going to be doing something that has deliveries, right? Then there's things like how you collect money. So a key partner could be PayPal, could be Square, or whatever payment system that you plan to use. If you plan to host online shows, maybe a key partner would be StreamYard or YouTube or Instagram. So you really want to think deeply about who are all the kind of organizations and partners that you would need. Of course, as you get closer into thinking specifically about inside the company, then you will have people that you'll probably need to form agreements with, like perhaps maybe a legal firm and have a partnership with them, an accounting firm and have partnerships with them, or just hire those people and put them on retainers, but you will need to figure that out, okay? Second up, we have key activities. So key activities is asking you, what are the things that you're going to do every day? Now, another major reason that companies startups fail within the first 3 years is because actually the founder doesn't really know what they're going to do every day, right? They don't have a plan. They're what I like to call accidental entrepreneurs. They did something, it went really well, people paid for it, and they keep doing it and it keeps going well and people keep paying for it, and that's great. But then when you have a moment where things change, right? A pandemic hits, or a member of staff leaves, or some of the clients change, or your supplier changes their terms and things, and you need to sit there and you need to think to yourself, right, we're going to need to pivot. In order to successfully be able to pivot, you have to know what you're pivoting away from, or what aspects of your business as usual processes you are going to pivot. Okay, so accidental entrepreneurs especially need to really sit down at some point and make note of what they do every day that brings success to the business. And this is the same for new entrepreneurs. So if you've only got the idea at this point, you can think to yourself, what would I be doing every day, right? So that could look something like sales, marketing, recruiting staff, paying staff, running payroll, doing customer returns, liaising with the team, creating, resources for the customers, choosing hairstyles for the customers. There's so many things that you should be doing on a daily basis and could be doing on a daily basis. And the question is, are you doing them on a daily basis, right? Because as an entrepreneur, especially as the leader, no one really knows if you're doing what you're doing. You can go around saying, oh, I run this company and I do this thing, but no one's there. You're pretty much only accountable to yourself. So in order to remain accountable to yourself and to ensure that the company grows successfully, you do need to start to make sure you log down and create a set of processes for what you will do every day. I also recommend to try and do make the list of what you'll do every day, every week, every month, every quarter, and every year for the business, so that you really build that kind of structure in and understand what the key activities are that you do in the business. So again, that would be the key activities that the business does, right? So making sales, running returns, dealing with customer queries, but also key activities that you will do as the leader, okay? So next is the key resources, okay? So this is slightly different, because this is what do you need to have to be able to do what you need to do every day. So this could be 5 different types of resources. They can be physical resources, such as tables, chairs, etc., combs, brushes, microphones, computers. There could be digital resources, such as a YouTube account, an email account, a PayPal account, the software that your company operates on, and things like that. They can be human resources, so the people that work with you, again, your lawyer, accountant, front desk staff, etc. They can be intellectual resources, so this is the key ideas and concepts that you have in mind that you use and you operate by. And they can also be financial resources, so maybe your bank, your investors, and things like that. So things that come out of the financial side, the credit card, debit card processing systems, your payroll systems, okay? So you think about what kind of resources do you need in the business? What do you need to be able to have, to be able to do what you're going to do every day with the people, key partners that you're going to do every day with? Then we can move into the value proposition, right? So in terms of what you offer, why would someone come to you instead of going to the next person? What makes your product and service more valuable to them? So when it comes to value proposition, we want to think about 3 different types of value that you could offer and you should be communicating and you should be offering. Especially if you currently have a product and you want to enhance it as well, you can always pick one of these 3 values to use to enhance it. So the first type of value is financial value. Actually, I'll put that third. No, first, the most important type of value is intrinsic value. Intrinsic value asks you to ask yourself, does the thing do what I said it does? Okay. So this can be very much like people, you know, we have people, they say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, and did this, I did that, and then they don't do it, right? So their intrinsic value is lost, right? And when that happens, you know, we lose trust in them, okay? It's the same thing with a product. If I have a product that I buy, I expect that product to function a certain way. And if the product does not function as I was told it was going to function, then of course, those intrinsic values are not there. So I will in turn lose trust in the product as well as in the organization because it doesn't do what it says it does, okay? So we need to make sure that we focus on intrinsic values. Now, an item or a product or a service does not have to provide every aspect of value. We can focus on a niche area and pinpoint. But in the area that we do focus on, we must make sure that we provide high quality products and services, okay? Second type of value is personal values. So people don't really like to do business with people they don't like. People don't like to buy things that don't rest well with them. You know, people don't like to have things on them that they'll feel embarrassed by. So what are the personal values of the people who are going to buy this product from you? And how does your item sit? How will it sit with them? Is it really something that they would have, they would buy, they could feel proud of? Or is it something that they could have and buy it, but they'll probably put it in the cupboard and never show anyone, but they'll use it every day and things like that. You've got to make that choice. That's really the difference between the notepad that we keep at home in our drawer and the notepad that we carry out when we go out, you know? So personal values. And then last, the reason I think the last one should be the last one is the least important is financial value. And I think financial value, you know, that's just about how we price it, what the cost of it is. Is it cheaper? Is it on sale, et cetera, et cetera? Is it more expensive? But really, financial value doesn't really matter because if something does what it says that it's going to do, and it sits well with people's personal values, they're really going to buy it. Okay, let's look at Dr. Dre Beats headphones. Super expensive, unnecessarily expensive, beyond necessarily expensive. But you know what? The sound was really good quality. So from the intrinsic value perspective, it was working. And then from a personal value perspective, it was Dr. Dre Beats headphones, right? So people who I could identify with Dr. Dre, looked up to Dr. Dre, liked Dr. Dre's music, were like, wow, this rests really well with me from a personal values perspective. So they paid the financial value, right? To have the item they want. And then after that, the last few building blocks, there's the customer segment. So you must make sure that you define the customer segment that you want. A lot of people say, oh, I sell to everyone. Yes, of course you'll sell to everyone, you know, everyone that's relevant, but you can't market to everyone. Marketing requires you to be very specific and pinpoint who it is that you're targeting. Is it men? Is it women? Are they aged 18 to 23? Are they aged 7 to 19? Like, you need to be very specific about that for the kickoff. Once the marketing is happening, word of mouth, networking, as Helen mentioned earlier, people will tell each other and someone else will buy. Then with those customer segments, you need to make decisions about the kind of relationships you want to have with them, right? So think about customer relationships and think about the channels, all right? So what kind of relationship are you going to have with them? Do you want them to self-serve themselves, or are you going to have a relationship where you talk to them every week, every day? Are you supportive? Are you coaching them? Are you just customer service? You know, do you just want them to call, make their request, the process gets done, they receive it, and they give you a review? You have to design the relationship. What kind of relationship do you want with this person? Okay. And then what channels are you going to use to talk to them? Right? So what channel will you use to build this relationship? Will you stand outside train stations giving them leaflets? Will you send them emails? Will you network? You know, what will you do? And then lastly, the last two things to think about is revenue streams and costs. Okay. So revenue streams being the things that you're going to sell, the products and services that you're going to sell. All right. What will they be? How many things will you sell? I suggest listing out the different revenue streams that you'll sell. And I also suggest also doing about 17 revenue streams. Most people have like 1 or 2 revenue streams on their list. You don't know what the customer's going to want. Let's be realistic. You know, the customer might want item number 16 that you just put on there because Tonisha told you to make 17 items in your revenue list. All right. Most of the time, most businesses actually have more than 20 items in their list. Even when they offer a very specific and bespoke service, you'll find that they offer it a few different ways, right? So you can have those different things there, but then also challenge yourself to really think about what else you could have and what else your company could do. And then the last bit you want to do is cost, right? So with cost, you want to look at everything you've noted down for all of these different things I've been talking about today. And you want to figure out which of them bring you money and which of them cost you money. I'd say take like a red pen and a blue pen, one red for cost and blue for revenue, and just put a little dot next to everything so you can figure out how much those things will cost you money. For example, if one of the channels you're going to use is standing at the train station giving out leaflets to people, that's going to cost you money because someone's going to need to stand at the train station and you're going to need to print the leaflets. So every single item on the list in some way will usually cost you money. All right. And then that's that, right? So as long as you focus on making sure that you're the main character in your life and your business is a key part of your life, you should be able to find it reasonably easy to make these decisions. Okay. And the good thing about having a business model as opposed to a business plan is once you make these decisions, these are decisions about how the business will operate. And it creates a model for operating, also a model for recruiting new staff, for explaining to them, look, these are our key partners. This is what we do every day. These are our key resources. This is who we work with every day, etc., etc. This is our customer segment. Okay. Whereas a business plan is a very different document. And of course, you can then write the business plan after you've created the business model. You'll find it 10 times easier to do that. But that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you today. If you are interested in joining the Ladies Entrepreneurship Club, please feel free to go to ladiesentrepreneurshiPclub.com. What we were just talking about today is like 20 minutes in one session. We have 21 sessions over 5 months. And it's amazing. And it's all about really building out your company on the spot. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for being here and, of course, for sharing this lots of information with us today. I am most confess that I am loaded. Who else is so informed today? Well, business model, business plan. Wow, wouldn't have thought that there was anything much different. But, of course, you were able to highlight these and, of course, you broke it down. Well done. Thank you very much, Tonisha, for this time. You will be in you will be at the backstage now because at the end of all the sessions,
yes,
we will be
panel.
Yes, thank you very much. So yes, in the comment section, we still want to hear from you. How was that session? Were you able to make notes? Yes, I see your comments coming in already, but we need more comments. We need more feedback from you. And remember, are you jotting your questions? Because the panel session is coming right after all the sessions. And of course, we will be able to get answers to your questions. It is still the maiden edition of this Becoming Summit. And of course, it is getting hotter by the minute as we are getting more information from this experienced women in leadership. All right, up next is another interesting session that we will just have to pick a whole lot of information from. Enjoy.
Adriana Meyer is a business psychologist, an accredited ICF PCC executive and team coach. She is an entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience ranging from the aviation industry to education and consulting. Her journey as an expatriate led her to develop a coaching program for female experts, working with our clients in their process of personal development and professional performance. With the challenges post-COVID-19, Adriana gathered forces with other female entrepreneurs and launched Experts and Entrepreneurs Online, a networking platform of support for female entrepreneurs to connect, collaborate, and showcase their businesses, services, and products around the globe. Adriana is also an ambassador to Female Wave of Change to Qatar, a director of sponsorship to ICF Doha chapter, and a co-founder of Mind Detox Me. She will be speaking on navigating new territories.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Yamaziza and Adri, for having me here in the Becoming Summit. I am very happy to be sharing this platform with amazing women to celebrate the International Women's Day. Thanks, Helen and Tonisha, for the great tips on collaboration, networking, and entrepreneurship. I am Adriana Meyer. As briefly stated in the introduction, I started my career in aviation. At that time, I thought I could conquer the world. Then time passed, life happened, family happened, and I found the difficulties in working and caring for my family. And for many years, I thought that was normal or expected until I discovered that women don't necessarily fit a male mold, but a female perspective can positively allow women to regain their space and the workforce. And research tells that has an impact in the work life of men and women alike. Today, I am a professional and consultant, and I understand that life is not made of compartments such as work or home, but it's much broader than that. I discovered I was not alone. Leading the way are incredible women like you, here with us today, stepping into your unique and authentic ways of leading to impact and make the difference in your communities. So to celebrate this special day, I will share with you my passion for female entrepreneurship. And I'll be talking about navigating new territories. So I would like to invite you to join this conversation today. Just pause for a moment, take a few breaths, and think of one word that expresses what enchanted territories you experienced in your life. Let us use the chat to write the word that represents your feeling. So, while you write, I will briefly share with you the history behind the Women's Day and how does that link to the Becoming Summit. From the remarks in February 28, 1909 in New York, to the first official celebrations in 1911, with more than 1 million women from several countries in Europe, namely Austria, Denmark, and some others, they were taking the streets to demand for the right to vote and the right to hold public spaces, as well as protest employment, sex discrimination, and equal pay. To 8th of March, 1967, when the day was recognized by the United Nations as the International Women's Day, to become the day we celebrate today. I'm highlighting this because it's important for us to remember and recognize the efforts of those women in accelerating women's equality. And by that, I mean we can play different roles in different areas of society, including having the power of voicing your opinion and doing simple things like writing in the chat your thoughts, as you just did. The theme for International Women's Day this year is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. It highlights how women can be equal partners in decision-making processes, especially those regarding policymaking. It is not new to you that many women lost their jobs over the past year. So there is a call to support female entrepreneurship. But due to the current challenges, we also have witnessed the importance and growth of online communities. These online communities have become vital for women empowerment. And not only that, these online communities are instrumental in encouraging women to be their best selves and reinforcing the sense that we are stronger when we come together. And the impact of women-only networks across the world is a growing phenomenon. A good example of that is the social media. If you go to your Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn accounts, you might feel overwhelmed with the boom in female platforms. You will find that they work as an alternative for women for several reasons. The ones being excluded from workplaces, social spaces, and business networks have taken the initiative and started up on their own. The intrinsic gender prejudices in traditional networks have also encouraged women towards building their own communities, be it for entrepreneurship, funding, or other facets of living. And there is also the case where you move abroad as an expatriate and you suddenly lose your identity. At first, all is new, full of excitement, joy, and cheerful. There are the ups and downs, and you suddenly feel that being an expatriate is not that nice. Until the day you realize you do not have your family or friends around, you do not recognize yourself as part of that place. You do not have your personal belongings. You don't own your story. And you might ask yourself the most difficult question to answer. Who am I? And other questions like, whose life am I living? What now? How do I restart? This is my reality. Living in 4 different countries for almost 14 years enhanced my cultural awareness and passion for those human interactions, which had started back when I was working in the aviation industry, as I mentioned earlier today. So this journey motivated me to develop a coaching program for expats and work with amazing women in their process of redefining their personal and professional identity. But I learned that we are only able to see that if we stop, ask ourselves some sets of questions, and understand where we are. And most importantly, where you want to be. So to me, this is the key factor in redefining who you are. And it is related to something that will only happen when you start navigating new territories. Those hidden treasures within you that will emerge when you take the opportunity to challenge yourself and tap into your emotions, your core values and beliefs, your purpose in life. My purpose sparked when I started navigating my new territories. When my second child was 3 years old. Today she's 11. So one day I woke up to hear this call in my heart. The immediate response to that was to get up and do something for you, and solely for you. And why is that important? Because it's really easy to fall into some traps and prioritize everyone's needs over ours. So my transformational process brought me to this huge learning curve where I find myself today. I went through a master's degree. I started seeing things from different perspectives. But what is the difference here? One of the answers for that is when you start navigating a new territory, you start doing things you were not doing before. Or simply start doing things you have always wanted to do, but did not have the opportunity. I'll give you an example of that. When I was in my country, Brazil, I started my first business. But that was way easier because I spoke the language, I understood my clients' needs, and I had a network of support, my safe space. And my practical knowledge does not come only from my personal experience. It also comes from a scientific research I did that allowed me to understand what expatriate women want and need when they move abroad. And when I moved abroad, like these women that were interviewed in my research, I was missing home. I did not have a network of support. I felt I had lost my identity, and that made me feel disconnected. So what was my situation? I felt lack of support, stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, and lost. I simply didn't know where to start. So I needed to make the change, but I did not have the confidence and motivation to start. With my research and practice, I learned that starting a new life in a new country might be the most challenging journey in one's life. But how does that lead to female entrepreneurship? And how that taught me to navigate new territories. The common themes that were found with my research supported the idea that when expatriate women move abroad, they tend to find a way out through entrepreneurship. Among them are the difficulty in finding a part-time job, low-paid incomes for different nationalities, lack of support of the spouse, lack of support of a network, language barriers, difficulties in validating your diploma to allow you to continue practicing your career in the new country. So, entrepreneurship overseas is a great attraction to these women. And this was the reality in Dubai, UAE. And the story keeps the same every country I go. When I moved to Portugal in 2017, I did another research to a different group of women. And what I found was that the themes are still similar despite their geographic area, culture, and nationalities. So this brings us back to where I am living today. When I moved to Qatar 2 years ago, I experienced the same narrative. So I decided to take my passion for female entrepreneurship further and launched an initiative for women called Expats and Entrepreneurs. Initially, it was a closed group with a few women to get together once a month over a coffee morning to connect, align ideas, and lift each other through coaching meetings to grow their mindsets and businesses. And my idea behind that was there are few things as satisfying as being a part of a circle of women, as small or large as it may be, and knowing that you have an empowering, encouraging bunch who have your back. These communities are instrumental in encouraging women to be their best selves and realizing that we are stronger when we come together. We trust that women who are empowered have the power to bring about positive change in the world. So by simply navigating new territories encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone and connect with other entrepreneurs in the globe to find that I was not alone. And as we were moving to the new normal, expats and entrepreneurs was forced to adjust to the fast changes. During the pandemic, I reconnected with a friend who is also a female entrepreneur, and we expanded to be an online networking platform to female entrepreneurs, growing my initial group here in Qatar to what it is today. So we are offering a new concept for women from all over the world to join us. And as a business owner, I learned how to recognize the value of being able to benefit from a strong network. As providers of high quality products and services, a large majority of the companies with whom I correspond say that 80% of their transactions come from referrals, whether by former or current customers, as well as by colleagues and collaborators that they found precisely on their network. So the majority of the networks present in the market today focus on the local and regional meetings of its members, with a rare international reach limited to special and occasional events during the year. So what outstands making us special in expats and entrepreneurs? Here in Expats and Entrepreneurs, we offer an opportunity to meet people and connect with customers and businesses from around the world every month in all of our meetings. And they are 100% online. Another differential is that on E&E, the addition of focusing only on a local network, we wanted to extend it to not only English-speaking businesses. So from our experiences, we understand that many women who are expatriates and who open their businesses around the world often find themselves restricted or by language or by the area of coverage, for instance. And our goal here is to enable these women to expand their area of influence and business possibilities to the whole world, even when they do not speak an international language. So what we did, we observed that most people already do business and regroup in communities where they are living far from their countries of origin. And also, they dream of staying in touch with potential customers and their countries of origin. So our ultimate goal here in Expats and Entrepreneurs is to enable these businesses to connect with potential customers and partners in all parts of the world. And I would like to wrap up all that and share with you today some practical tips of what I'm talking about so far. So these groups that we created are called language pods. So you're able to network in your native language and also in English to enhance your business possibilities, your communities, and also the meaningful connections. And if you are in your learning curve and want to start navigating new territories, as I did, you might want to consider starting a new business. But if you don't know how, my advice to you is just start by connecting with an online female community like ours. They are all there to support you and with you. And to support this idea of how women online communities can help you raise your power, there are my 6 takeaways for you today. First one, find a safe space. These communities are where women can go to at any time to feel safer and empowered and have access to information, education, recreational activities, and integrated services. Number two, find personal and professional support. The best guidance is more likely to come from someone who has experienced what you are going through. Women understand one another's concerns, embarrassments, joys, and obstacles. Women communities foster empathy while also serving as a robust support system in more ways than one. Number three, find new opportunities. The importance of relationships should be valued in both personal and professional capacity. So, from the professional accomplishments and guidance to mental health support and workplace obstacles, women communities become spaces where these women can share career advice and create opportunities for each other together. Number four, learn and unlearn. Women communities encourage the sharing of stories and journeys, which help in breaking those archaic patterns. They allow women to be vulnerable, and there is a great sense of empowerment in being vulnerable, knowing that it will never prove baleful to their own development. Number five, amplify the voices of women. Media and culture lack authentic representations of women, from products we cannot use to stories we do not identify with. Women communities change this. They become stages where upon women are handed the mic and find the confidence to raise their voice and their power. And the last one, number six, find a cheering squad. Contrary to popular sexist beliefs, women can be women's biggest supporters. As women, we are multidimensional and we want to succeed in all aspects of our lives, including at home and in our careers. If you are a women empowerment community, encourage your girls to get out of their comfort zone. Set expectations high because she is capable of achieving them, and create a safe environment for her. This is crucial in decision making processes, and also tell her she tries to rise from her falls and moves on. And to conclude, I will leave you with a thought. Write your story. Remember how you faced some issues and how you did overcome those. And how did you find yourself again, your passion, and supported other women in a similar situation? Own your story. Become your best self. This is how I navigated new territories. How will you navigate your new territories? Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very, very much for this. It is eye-opening, mind-blowing, and of course, so lifting. This is so powerful a session. And I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this way today. I can see the comment section also blowing away. Wow, you have shared with us a piece of you that will forever remain with us. And of course, get us into action. Thank you very much for this beautiful rendition.
Thank you very much, Yamaziza. Thank you.
Well, okay. Yes, we promised you that. And of course, our speakers are confirming that they are well seasoned. They are rich in their experiences from different spheres of life. They are women. And of course, they are not slowing down at all. They are getting themselves, yeah. I'm referring to the speakers now. They have deliberately gotten themselves out of that compartmentalization of work and home, and believing that they can do much more, they are doing much more. Really hoping that you're inspired. Many more to come on this series of speech that we'll be listening to today. Yes, remember that is streaming live on YouTube, and of course you can still invite more people to join the 3-day event, this summit. So still feel free. Don't learn this alone. Share with friends and family. Get more girls and women to join this, and of course let us all be enlightened. All right, let us get right on to our very next speaker, who is also going to open our eyes, open our minds, and of course, lift our souls. Enjoy it.
Kai is a creative entrepreneur, host, entertainer, and motivational author of the self-help workbook, I Am What I Say I Am. Through her own personal journey of self-discovery, evolution, and experience in business and music as a Black female, Kai uses her voice to serve the world and empower people to show up as their true selves as a proclaimed self-love advocate. As part of the UN's Decade Initiative to recognize people from the African diaspora from 2015 to 2024, Kai was nominated for the top 100 most influential people of African descent in 2020. Now based in Dubai, the creative and businesswoman has been carving a path in music, passion, and serving her purpose to help women discover the best version of themselves. As the creator of Reclaim Your Power, a self-confidence course created to overcome self-doubt and live to your true potential. Her contagious aura and business acumen can be seen both on and off the stage in her business and creative endeavors, such as hosting and co-managing Bite Club, a dinner deal community promoting restaurants across Dubai, or empowering the Black community and businesses through the platform Black Girl in Dubai. She will be speaking on your purpose in serving your world.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. You're welcome. This is the session I can say, okay, media girl to media girl.
No,
you're welcome, and thank you very much for being on this platform.
Thank you very, very much. Well, I have so much to share, and I'm really, really blessed that I'm part of this panel. And obviously, it's only day one, but I feel like we're all so excited. I don't know how we're going to last the next couple of days, but anyway, maybe that's just me. So I just want to go ahead and share my screen for those of you who haven't previously come across me. My name is Kai, and thank you for that lovely introduction. It's amazing. And I will be speaking about how you can really tap in and tune into the best version of yourself. So many times, I think, in today's busy world, especially, of course, during this pandemic, we have been kind of blindsided by a lot of what's happening in our immediate environments. And of course, in the bigger, wider world, there is so much going on a daily basis. And unfortunately, we are kind of inundated with a lot of negativity. And if you're not focused on yourself and finding out what's important, it can absolutely be easy to get lost in the mix. So if that sounds like you, I hope you are ready to just be open and hear something that I say that can really, really help you and come forward into just living the best version of yourself. So I'm just going to click through a couple of things here. Now, as I've mentioned, my name is Kai, and I'm a performance coach and networking strategist based here in Dubai. I've been here just going on 4 years now, actually. And I'm also a motivational author. So I help people through different tools and strategies to be the best version of themselves. So perhaps let's start with where you are now. Just have a think for a moment. It's not an answer that you need to put in the comments or anything that you need to kind of outwardly discuss. But I just want you to think about where you are now. Are you happy in your life. Of course, there are many reasons to be happy, but easily, as I've mentioned, with the pandemic or whatever's going on at work, perhaps you've been working from home for a long time. We all have a new version of what normal looks like to us. And unfortunately, for a while, with a lot of hopes, many of us probably hoped that things would go back to the old version of what they used to be. And it's been a little bit difficult to accept that things may never be the way they were. So where are you? Do you feel lost? Perhaps if you got lack of direction, maybe you're wondering why everyone else seems to have it figured out except yourself. Wherever you are, just kind of make a mental note of that and have it in the back of your mind whilst I go through this. Now, have a think about where you'd love to be. Okay, now I know it might be hard to imagine depending on your circumstance, but where would you love to be? Even if you have the dream job, you know, family and work and everything is set, maybe there are still some things that you'd like to achieve, you know, whether it's a personal goal, a business goal, any kind of goal. It doesn't even need to be a goal. Just maybe there's a hobby or something that you'd like to do or a place you'd like to visit when the borders reopen everywhere and it looks normal again. But I just want you to really allow yourself to dream and think about the possibilities. Maybe it's that relationship. Maybe it is that dream job. Maybe it's just having the kind of material things or the spiritual alignment that you're looking for. Just really think about that and allow yourself. I think sometimes as women, we don't give ourselves permission to think big. We kind of just think, okay, well, this is what it is. But just give yourself this permission right here, or I'm giving you permission to think and dream bigger. Yeah. So just a little bit about myself. As you see here, there is a clip of my little interaction that I had with Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Gary V. I'm not sure if you're very familiar with him. He's a fantastic businessman and a social media force. So if you do follow him, he can give you some fantastic life, business advice and guidance. And he's just a real talking straight person. And I had the amazing opportunity to meet him here in Dubai when he came to visit. But that's obviously not about him right here. It's about myself. Now, I've been in Dubai probably, just 4 and a bit years now. And I originally came here as a musician. Back in the UK, I was singing and doing a lot of music and creative work. I had my own business on the side, but then I also decided to come here and do music just so I can earn from my passion. You know, singing for a living and being paid for it was an amazing dream of mine. Whether that was going to be in a famous respect, you know, internationally as a celebrity status, or just singing and making people happy. That really, really was a dream that I wanted to fulfill. And so coming here, as you'll see, I've got a great picture. If you just slip to the next slide for me. There is a picture of a music hall, which is a very, very beautiful, grand venue here in Dubai. That ended up being my first gig. So that was fantastic. And as you can see, these amazing big red curtains as they open, I was just in awe when I saw it. I couldn't believe I got this gig. And I performed there for several months. So as you can imagine, these big curtains opening and I'm seeing the audience staring at me, waiting for me to sing my first note. And so many things were flashing back at me from when I was a child, you know, dreaming of doing this thing, playing with my sister at home, right into, you know, school and university and, you know, doing the good stuff to get a good job and, you know, go off and be a good be a good student and fulfill your parents' dreams. All of that was flashing before me, as well as having just nervous, clammy hands as well. But I start to sing, and it wasn't long before I made amazing networks and connections in the music circuit here. But I also made another connection and fell for someone romantically. And that was amazing in Dubai. I didn't expect it. New place, new city, so many opportunities. And dare I say, I think I fell in love with someone. So I was going and everything was fantastic and it was feeling great. You know how it is, ladies, when you meet somebody and you're like, okay, you know, you're looking right and they're giving you all the compliments and everything. Everything was perfect for a good few months. But then there were some signs that started to trickle in. And, you know, as you do as women, we sometimes ignore them, or we sometimes think, oh, maybe it's me. But you want to support and be a good partner in a relationship. So you give You know, women, we are giving and giving and giving all the time. And I think during that process, I started to kind of suppress my own voice. It even got to a point where this loving person that I thought I was with started to kind of make comments on the things that I would wear, or, you know, the way that I would do things. And I started to kind of stop commenting and allowing the things that I thought he knew about music, or the things that he knew about the area that I was in, because I was still very new, to kind of override my own voice. Because I thought, you know, maybe he knows more than me. He's been here longer. He knows more about music. And I kind of just listened. And it got to a point, which this is, you know, a very long story, which I'm not able to delve into in this short space for this presentation, but it got to a point where I found out he was in a relationship with somebody else, and there were many twists and turns to this. And when I confronted him about it, he would say things to me like, well, what did you expect? I'm a man. You know, women talk to me all the time. I'm a musician. And the sheer bravado and cheek of it, and the audacity, he wasn't ashamed to actually admit some of this stuff to me. And needless to say, I was heartbroken. I was absolutely shattered, because I'd put so much into moving and being in a new space and connecting with new people and really being vulnerable and open and giving. And I gave so much of myself to the point where I just didn't even recognize who I was at that point. So I say all this to say it gets to a point where I'm now not eating, and I'm now really neglecting my own needs. And by the time I got to this point, I came here with my cousin, and at that time she was kind of saying to me, babe, you know, you're staying in the same place. I go out, I come back, and you haven't moved. And between the crying and all of the other nightmares that go along with, you know, being heartbroken, I realized that I just wasn't doing anything. And when it dawned on me, I thought, where did it get to this point where someone else's voice became louder than my own? When did it get to this point that things that he was saying to me, or even anyone for that matter, whether it be friends, family, or anything that was in this new space called Dubai, when did that become more important than my own voice, my own story? And when I really started to realize there's a lot of things that I had achieved way before meeting my partner. And so I was giving him a lot of control and allowing him to say a lot of things and being vulnerable. But in actual fact, there were many things that before moving to Dubai and before meeting him, I was able to achieve. So with that said, and with my cousin's encouragement, I was like, right, I'm going to get out. I'm going to start meeting people. And I did. And thankfully, I came across my business partner who, as you heard in the introduction, I am part of a business called Bite Club. And at the time, I had no idea about it, but I heard if you come to this restaurant, you can get free food. Who doesn't want free food at a restaurant, right? So I go and I meet some people and I start networking and talking, and of course, asking why the food is free. But when I met my business partner and he saw me coming to a few of these events and meeting great people and hitting it off, he's like, you should do this. You know, you're natural at this. You like talking to people. Why don't I pay you to host the events? Of course, that was a no-brainer for me, right? So I'm like, cool, I need to meet new people. I need to start meeting others for these gigs, because I definitely don't want to rely on my ex-partner, you know? So I go and I start meeting new people and I start hosting these events. And before I know it, people are loving anything that I'm saying, to be honest with you. And I didn't think I was saying or doing anything special. I'm just talking naturally as I'm talking to you here. And I was also kind of placing people, almost matchmaking, if you will, to sitting at certain tables at the restaurants and kind of encouraging them to talk to each other. And the more that I did that, it literally hit me. I came to Dubai to sing for people and to be this musician that I envisioned for myself. But in that very moment, whether it was just hosting in a restaurant and connecting people, being the host, or just talking, something that most of my childhood and my life, I've been told I talk too much and I do too many things. But it was actually the thing that was connecting and bringing so many people together. And I just realized I'm a connector. So I say all that to say, by the time I got to this point and I realized so much of what I'd been doing throughout most of my childhood with friends, with family, with strangers, something that I felt was natural and not really even a big deal, this was the very thing that sparked the magic at Bike Club. And not only that, the community that I now run, Black Girl in Dubai. I came here not knowing or being able to find a lot of Black businesses for my hair, for my skin, or just finding the things that I was used to finding back home in the UK. But by talking to people and by networking and sharing, I was able to find a lot of these different Black businesses and share it with people freely. So I built that website. And again, just by sharing and talking, doing what I naturally do, I was able to connect and bring so many people together. So I move forward and I'm doing all of these things. And of course, people are asking me, what is it that you're doing that's different? You used to look so down and now you're looking alive. You're looking like there's a spark inside of you. And that was it. I had connected the dots and realized that I had a gift to connect people. I realized that I had a gift of talking, something that I would never have really realized in all of the years of singing on stage and attaching my music and my gift to my purpose, or even wondering what that was for so many years. So where are you now? I just kind of want to remind you, because my story is obviously my journey of how I discovered that. But I want to remind you that you're not here by accident. There are many things that are probably happening to you. And just like myself, from going from London to Dubai and getting into that relationship and having all these accidental, coincidental moments, I was able to really understand, after many different incidents, that the very gifts and the very things that I thought were natural and not of much worth were of absolute worth. It's what made me me. Talking so much, being passionate and sharing, because that's what I do, was something that somebody else valued, strangers or my business partners. It's something that they couldn't do and they don't do, and they find it very hard to do. So understanding myself a lot more, spending a lot more time on my own, coming out of that very toxic relationship, I started journaling more. I started doing affirmations. I started spending time alone and really getting to know myself and just connecting the dots of where and when did I allow other people's opinions to become louder than my own? When did I forget the very things that I had done before coming to Dubai? And when did I just not really put any value to that? So by understanding more about myself, forgiving myself, and really putting myself first, not before not with anybody else's opinions attached to what it is that I want. When I really started asking myself, what do I want? What do I need? Taking time in the morning, taking time at night. Every day we are out here giving so much of our time and energy to the news, right? We're giving so much of our time and energy to social media, to family, whether it's, you being in a committed relationship, you being in a job that you're in, perhaps you're, a mother or a father, and you're giving your time and your energy every single day to other people, which of course there are many roles that we play, but it is absolutely your duty to be the best version of yourself and to figure out what it is that you want. It doesn't mean that because you don't know it now, you'll never find it. And it doesn't even mean that you're on the wrong path. Everything that's happening to you is giving you clues and helping you to get to the next stage so that you can figure it out. There is only one version of you. And so it's your duty and your purpose, absolutely, to share that with the world. No one is you, and that is your superpower. And I think once you understand and realize that, not that it's just words coming out of my mouth, but when you truly really understand that whatever it is that you're good at, what you're passionate at, what you find easy and flowing, those gifts have been given to you, not just for you, but for you to go out and serve the world. I want to remind you that you are also enough. Yeah, we can go. Yes, perfect. Next slide. You are enough. As women, so many of us are guilty of putting on so much pressure. We've got to be this way. We've got to be that way. We've got to, fulfill society's measures. We've got to do what our parents wanted us to do. We've got to do what our parents want us to do. I want to remind you, you are enough exactly as you are. And as cliche as that might sound, you were born enough. You were born with all of the gifts that you're supposed to go out and serve. So by thinking that you're inadequate and that you're not enough, genuinely will keep you in a place of negativity and keep you feeling stuck, like you don't want to give. And the gifts that you've been blessed with, that you were born with in the first place, are not even yours to have and to keep. That's what was one of the major revelations I realized, because I'd known that I can sing for a while and I wasn't sure how good I was at singing. And I was actually quite afraid to sing in public for a very long time. But in understanding that the voice I have is not just for music, it's not just for singing. My voice is here to speak to other people, literally. And we do it every day. I do it every day for fun. I love it. But honestly, I have a voice and I have a power. I've actually had people approach me and say to me, they feel I've got something powerful to say. And I literally have not spoken a word since they met me. And it's ironic because I thought, this person doesn't even know that I'm about to go on stage and sing, but they just met me and they felt something. Now, whether that was true or not for them is a different question. But I was receiving messages and understanding more and more about myself. And so that was perfect timing for them to have told me that. But majority of my life, I felt inadequate if I wasn't on stage singing, when actually I'm born to sing and to speak and to share. Hence why it's a blessing to be in spaces like this, speaking for you and sharing this today. Because if it wasn't for these kind of revelations and understanding this about myself, I would probably still be stuck feeling and just having this inadequate approach, instead of coming out here and freely sharing my story and helping you with yours. So I just want to ask, how many thoughts do you have per day? Just think about that. You don't necessarily have to put it in the comments. Feel free if you want to. But how many thoughts, honestly, do you think you have every single day, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to sleep? Just think about that. Loving the comments coming through, by the way. So thank you very much. We'll get to some of those in just a bit. So, according to the National Science Foundation, on average, okay, this is mind-blowing, about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. That is the average person's number of thoughts. Now, 80% of those are negative, and a lot of them are repetitive thoughts, things that happened yesterday, things that someone said to you 2 weeks ago, things that somebody said to you when you was a child, the man down the road who irritated you. These things are on repeat in our minds. Naturally, yes, but by them being on replay and autopilot constantly in our minds without controlling them and being intentional about them, there are thousands of thoughts going through our minds. And if you're not careful and intentional, those things can literally run your day and run your life. And so I want you to think once again, who or what have you been giving your thoughts and your energy and your attention and your power to? Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's your colleagues at work. Maybe it's that boss who's not giving you that raise. Who is it? Who are you giving all of that power to? Is it social media? Is it the news? Is it COVID? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to blame any of this stuff, but it's just for you to become aware of where your thoughts and your attention and your mind and even your speech, where all of that is going. And some of those things could be triggering you to act a certain way or feel a certain way every single day in a pattern that you don't even realize. I definitely have been guilty of that. And just when you realize it doesn't mean that it stops, but when you realize that you're able to do better and focus more and control it. Now, one of the things that I do talk about in my course, Reclaim Your Power, is the fuel that we put into our bodies, the fuel that we put into our minds. Now, as you see here, it stands for food, your unit, your environment, and your listening. And I'm only just going to touch on one of those right now, which is the environment that you're in. Because absolutely right now, there is so much going on around us, but life is a game and we have to play it to win. Yeah, we have to play the game of life to win. The life is now. Okay. And I don't say this lightly, but with the pandemic, I really hope and I pray that no matter what traumatic circumstances you've been through, myself included, you're able to really allow it to cleanse and release and remove blockages or remove any barriers that you've had, whether that be yourself or circumstances that you're in or people in your life. I've had tragedy in my life, unfortunately, but there have been some amazing things that have happened during this pandemic. But I think this is, for many of us, reminded us that the time is now. The past has gone and tomorrow has not even come yet. You know, if we are blessed to wake up tomorrow, that is fantastic, but we don't have control over that. We have control over right now. What's happening on this screen while I talk to you, while you're listening right now. You're never going to live now again. You're never going to live the last 5 minutes again. Just like we don't have any guarantee that we're going to live the next 50 years, unfortunately. So just having that urgency in your mind that life is now and you have to be present now. Looking at your environment and the fast-paced world that we're in, of course, social media is not negative. Trust me, I love social media. But it's a very, 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 very busy, noisy, distracting place if you are not intentional about using it and what you use it for, how long you use it for. And it's not just social media. There are distractions everywhere, right? And so I want you to think while I'm speaking about your environment. It's amazing that you're here now as part of this Becoming Summit because you're in the right space. This is the kind of place that you need to be in to speak to women, to network, to talk to people and grow and empower yourself in your mind. But if you're not here and if you're not intentional on a regular basis, we can easily, and again, I hold my hands up, myself included, we can easily be led down the wrong path. So I want you to think about some of the influences that are distorting the views that you have of yourself. Some of those that are making you feel less than. You need to take the control back and look inwards at yourself, because finding your purpose can literally be staring at you right in the face. And I say this because my story is exactly that. I have constantly, since a child, been told that I spoke too much, whether it was friends, teachers, you know, at school, it was always, she's a very bright child, but she talks a lot. She's always talking and helping the kids around her, and she needs to focus on her own work. That was me, okay? Helping the other kids and not focusing on my own paper, right? But whatever it is and was, I literally ingrained that in my mind as a negative thing. Maybe I'm talking too much. I'll shut up. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I won't say my opinion. Maybe in every scenario, to the point where I was scared to speak in certain respects. And many people won't believe that, but it's true. So I just want to remind you this, so you have control over your mind and you have control over your life. And I only have a short time with you, but this is just planting the seeds, because whether you know your purpose or whether you're still finding it, there is still time. If you are still here listening, there is still time to find it. And all of it is pushing you in the right direction. Now, I just want to put this here as one of the tips and things that we can do to help us feel good and feel great, because whether you're in a great space right now or you're in a space that you just do not see a way out and you do not even see how you can find your purpose, being happy is a choice. And if you're able to just take small steps every single day into choosing yourself, into choosing happiness each day, there are some natural things that you can do. It's not about a handbag or a pair of shoes or that course or anything external outside of you. I really want to drive that home, because for many of us, yes, we want to sell books and we want to sell shows and all this other stuff. But honestly, if you can have the right kind of things around you naturally to help you bring yourself back to center, okay, whether meditations work for you or any other thing that you've tried, because trust me, I struggled with meditations very early on, but now I've practiced it and it's something that I personally use as a great tool. But there are things here that you can tap into to get back into your happy space, okay? You know that great feeling when you have the favorite music or the album that you love listening to, or maybe it's a particular wine or a chocolate that you love eating, okay? There are chemicals in the body naturally, one of them dopamine, which you've probably heard of, one that we get when we're on social media, by the way. When you get a lot of social media likes and hits, it's the dopamine hit that we're getting. But you can also get those rewards and those centering feelings from completing a task, doing self-care activities, eating food, and celebrating little wins. Okay, the self-love stuff is a real thing. Okay, you can also have endorphin naturally released in the body. That's a painkiller, but things like essential oils and laughter, watching some comedy, this also releases the endorphin in our minds. So I just kind of want to remind you that comparing yourself to where someone else's journey is and where you are or where you think you should be is definitely not the way to go about finding your purpose. Being happy with where you are now and understanding that you can start from a clean slate wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're up here or down here, you can start now. Starting to center back on yourself and listening to your own voice, stripping back all of those distractions, that is where you can start to feel centered, start feeling happy again, and start to uncover your purpose. I love this picture. So just before I close, I'm just going to go on to the next slide. I want to remind you to listen to your inner voice. Remember to take your own advice. Advice from external sources are, of course, important. However, once you take control of your own mind, once you are aware and alert about the things you're putting into it, I'm not saying never use social media, but being intentional about how long you're on there, the type of news that you consume, the friends that you have around you, everything really, really comes back down to you. And when you take control of that, you absolutely are unstoppable. So that is me. And I wanted to thank you for listening. I do have my Reclaim Your Power course, which you can find out more about if you follow the link at the bottom. Reclaim My Power Now. That is a succinct course that I've put together, going more in depth about everything that I've touched on here, but a lot more, of course, as you can imagine. It's over 4 weeks, and we have a support group. We have lots of tasks like, easy, very easy task for you to do so you can go through your own strengths. Okay, the very things that you've probably been neglecting over a while, thinking that they don't matter and they're not of value to someone. Well, actually, they are of value, which is the reason why the gifts have been given to you. The things that you may not think are amazing are the very things that in your head, or maybe things that you could do with your hands, that you need to get out and serve the world, because the gifts that you have are not for you. They are for the world. And when I say the world, I don't mean that in a cliche, oh yeah, go and serve the world. I literally mean it. You are here for a reason, and you have to serve the world because your gifts are not for you. Okay, keeping them for yourself is great. You can enjoy them if you are using them, but if you're not using them, it's just selfish. So let's get out of your own way and let's serve the world with what you are born to do. Yeah. So that's one of those things, as well as an easy self-help book if you want to just start off something basic on your own. It's a 25-page booklet with some simple tasks and exercises and some very poignant questions. Sometimes the most simple questions are the ones that we think aren't the ones that we should pay attention to, but actually they're the easy yet difficult ones. And when you just allow yourself the time to think about them, the answers come through. My name is Kai, and I really, really thank you for listening. You can check out this book on Amazon. And if you'd like to connect with me, iamsimplykai.com or I am Simply Kai on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you very much. Whoop, whoop. Sorry, I'm tooting my own horn there. Thank you so much.
Wow. This is what is the right word to use? Can someone please borrow me a word to use? This is super mind-blowing. Thank you very much for this, Kai. And that you're not just like the previous speakers, that you are not just talking to us like, okay, this is the theory, this is what you can do. You have actually personalized it, taking on into your personal world, sharing your personal story, just so you can create a a clearer picture. Thank you very much, and for sharing this piece of you. We deeply, deeply, on behalf of every participant that is here today, I'm sure you've seen some of the comments.
I am trying to look at both you on the screen and then there's some coming at the bottom and then I'm reading on the side panel. Yes, your gifts are not for you. That's one of the things that I was like, wait, what? Really? I thought they're my gifts. Oh, they've been given to me, so they're mine, but they don't belong to me. Got it. That was one of my mind-blowing like light bulb moments.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. All right. We'll allow you to go to the back end now, so that we'll allow the last speaker for today to also come share with us some beautiful insight, and then we'll get everyone back on so that the question and answer session can begin. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Yeah. Wow, the Becoming Summit. Who is feeling renewed? Is someone in here already feeling renewed? Because I am already feeling so refreshed. Yeah, there are a number of things that I have penned down that I'll be unlearning. Because this is a relearning session that I am owning. Okay, it is the Becoming Summit, and it is the maiden edition. The convener is Ejiro Osakede, the energetic EJ herself. And of course, so far we've had 4 speakers. Slated for today are 5. So the next speaker is going to be the last speaker for today, being day 1. Yeah, so get ready with your questions as soon as Pat is done with her session. We would have all the other speakers, all 5 of them, back on to share with us or to share responses to the questions that we already piled up for them. So keep writing your questions, keep noting them down. Perhaps we might even ask you some questions and you might have the opportunity to go away with something. But until then, let's enjoy this last session for today, hosted by Pat.
Pat Obilor is a multidisciplinary media and corporate brand executive, seasoned broadcaster, and social media influencer. She has a well-developed insight for core media, corporate and social communication, public relations, product promotions escalation, digital youth influencing, customer care inclusion, and media content creation, and so on. The celebrated author of 2 media books, Life of a Media Girl and 31 Media Hacks You Should Know, has interviewed on both radio and television some of the best celebrities and entrepreneurs, and she is one of the women at the helms of corporate media, youth and women empowerment and show business in Nigeria. She is the founder of Mogulet Africa magazine and community. She will be speaking on the power of collaboration.
Oh yes, where's Bart? Hello, we need to see your face. Okay, we are getting ready for another session of mind-blowing information. Okay, so we're trying to digest the ones that we have in past sessions. Oh yeah. Calm down. 2, 1, and here's Helen. Voila. Oh, hi. You see your face.
Okay, everyone.
Okay, we are getting ready. Information. Okay.
Hello, can you see me?
Just the one that we have in past sessions. I guess there's a feedback somewhere. Count down.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
I see you now, Pat. However, there is
such a pleasure to be here. Can you want to be sharing? Can you hear me? Please quietly, but don't try.
Yeah. Okay, I want to believe everybody else can.
Make me as well.
I guess there's a feedback somewhere.
Okay, everyone, I can actually see and I think my
That's
audience.
funny.
So I hope it gets better. Start off. My name is Pat
Oh,
Obilor,
okay. I need to find
and
out.
it's
Am I the only one
a pleasure
believe
to
it?
be here. And if you're referring to challenges, I apologize on head, yes. So I've been backstage for a while, so, and I listened to Kai actually listened to Kai and enjoyed everything she said about service to others, and of course forget yourself. So it was very helpful. And I appreciate you all. Appreciate the Convener,
Now, am I the only one
for hosting this important event. And I just want to show that everyone can hear me because I'm right here. But the network is very, very bad. Hello. Hello. Wow.
We can hear you now, but I think your network is breaking, from time to time. So,
hello.
Can you hear me? Hello, Pat, can you hear me? Because we can hear you, but there is a break in your network.
Azusa. What's a network? God.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is happening, but I guess I would suggest, Pat, please, can you just reconnect, like go off and then come back on? Perhaps that will just reset the network from your end. Please, thank you. Yeah, okay, things happen, but of course, we're not giving up. It's never in our dictionary. Yeah, as we see that is fixed, for Pat to come on board and speak on the power of collaborations. Let's just still gear up our minds, our body, our pen and paper to see what loads of information we will be jotting as she pours herself to us. All right, just a quick recap. So far, we've had amazing women, 4 amazing women speak to us from the depth of their heart and, of course, from the richness of their experience. My notepad is loaded. My mind is loaded. And, of course, I'm ready to become more strong and, of course, ready to achieve more success stories. Really hoping that you are ready. Yes, the very first speaker that we had spoke about networking effortlessly, and that was delivered by Helen. We also had Tonisha, who spoke on excelling in business. This is just to remind you what the topics are that we've had to enjoy by the last speakers, the 4 speakers. And navigating new territories by Adriana. We've also had listen to the powerful speech delivered by Kai, who enlightened us about your purpose is serving your world. You're discovering yourself, owning yourself, and of course, expressing yourself. Perhaps we could just go through the comment section now and see to hear or read more from you. Remember that as soon as Pat is done with our own speech, we will be bringing back all five speakers to address whatever questions that we have so far, especially from what they've shared with us today. Quick reminder also that the Becoming Summit is the brainchild of Ejiro Osakede. We love to call her the energetic EJ. And of course, we know that the aim of this is tied to the fact that March is the month of celebrating women, and International Women's Day with the theme Women in Leadership. We've been able to come up with a list, an interesting list of women across spheres to come pour themselves out, to enlighten us, open our minds, blow our minds, open our eyes, and of course, get us in the spirit of becoming, taking action through the points and experiences that they lay out to us today. Right? I guess we're still waiting for Pat to come back on so that she can take us through our own session that is going to be on the power of collaboration. But as we know, network itches. This thing that it is said that sometimes when things are so good, the challenge will definitely come. This is one of them. This is a reminder that sometimes something really good will definitely attract some challenges that we just must make up our mind to conquer. All right. Let's see. Okay, perhaps I should have a chit chat with the convener of the Becoming Summit so that she can still re-emphasize why she came up with this idea of the Becoming series. And I'll start with our song. Who runs the world? We. Who runs the world? We. Who runs the world? We men. Women. Who runs the world? We. Women. Okay, yes, well done. This has been packed, and of course, we can't wait to really top the icing, to top the cake with icing, with the speech that Pat will be sharing with us. Hoping that this will get fixed immediately. So you just re-emphasize, remind us what the
Pat is back on stage, so let's just get Pat's session going so that we can have the panel session and then we can round it off for today. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you. Never forget that. I love you.
We love you more, you know that. Okay, guys, the network is now. Part is back. Yes. Hello.
Hello, Ziza. Good to see you. I'm so sorry about the work. The network is such a mess, but it's not going to stop our shine. We have to shine today.
No
and
way. We're not gonna allow it.
Yes. So I know my time is fast spent. 5 minutes already gone. About 10 minutes already gone from my time. So I'm just gonna quickly take us through my topic, and I'm so excited. And first, I really want to thank Adriana for this beautiful platform. I want to thank her for coming up with this initiative. And I love the whole idea of becoming, because that is what we do every day. We always become. Sometimes it seems like, oh, you have a goal, you have 10 lists of what you want to do. By the time you're rounding off with that particular 10 list, you are also thinking of the next thing to do. So if you want to look at it, however you look at it, in Davido's voice now, however you look at it, it's you. We just keep growing, we just keep becoming, we just keep, trying out new things, getting successful in new ways every day. So we never get there until we get there. So thank you, Ejiro, so much for the Becoming Summit. It's really very, very, very special, and we look forward to more of this summit, next year and many years to come. May God bless you and continue to give you the strength and the resources you need basically to do this. So quickly, I'm going to be talking about the power of collaboration, and this topic is very important to me, and it's very dear to my heart, because I've more like spent quite some meaningful years of my life contributing to the growth of other people, and contributing to the success of other women, basically. And it came about because I felt a void, that I feel that I needed to feel, because I get to, you know meet a lot of people every day who say, "Oh, Pat, I need this. Pat, can you help me with that?" And then I found myself, saying that there must be something, to be done to alleviate people's pains, people's expectations, people's ideas and dreams, right? And I realized that most people who walk up to me, who come to me for help or advice or support, are basically women, young girls, ladies, right? So, and that was one of the reasons why I founded Mogulate Africa in 2016, basically. And because at some point I felt a void that I also needed to feel as a woman growing up, I needed that connection with more women. So this topic is very, very important to me. And a little background about the whole idea of collaboration would be me saying that we need not compete with any other woman, with any woman at all, or with the female gender, but we have to focus more on competing. When we compete, we are closely supporting the next person who seems to be in a higher place than where we are. And then we are also learning from that person to be better. That is competing. For me, competing is very healthy, and it also ascertains the process of growth more than competition. Because when you think about competition, you don't think about collaboration, right? Competition is what big 500, Fortune 500 companies do. It's what big organizations do, right? But as individuals, we're not products. Um, we're not merchandise. We are human beings with flesh and blood. We are human beings with ideas, with feelings, right? So the best way to bring out the best in ourselves is to compete, not compete. So when we compete, that's when we think about collaboration, right? So because when you collaborate more, you tend to bring out uh, the best in yourself and the best in others. Now, collaboration for me, I think, is one of the cheapest way to grow in life and to actually amount to something tangible in life. Because when you collaborate, you are not only adding value to your life, you're also adding value to the life of other women around you, right? So, and then you will not be seen as selfish. You would take off a lot of stress, a lot of hurdles, a lot of pain from your neck when you have this sense of collaboration. And me as a person, I've really learned a lot, and I've gained so much from collaborating with other women than when I'm doing things on my own. Now, because I have this multitasking spirit and attitude, I tend to want to do everything by myself. But when I realized the power of collaboration, I started sharing my ideas. I started bringing more people on board to help me do things, right? So I remember the last summit I had. Um, I had to bring a lot of people on board because I know I cannot do it on myself. I think it was even Adriana who was moderator, because at some point I was losing it, right? So this is not a cheap topic. The whole idea of collaboration. I might not emphasize it so well today because of the time, but know that whatever you do in life, whether you're in business or you're as an individual person, or even in your relationship, always think of collaboration. How can I bring people on board to help me with this? How can I be there for people to achieve this faster, or to help other people achieve things faster? Now, when you think of collaboration, you're not thinking of that from the whole angle of being selfish. You're thinking of it from the angle of giving, of adding value, of you know helping other people achieve their purpose, right? So now I'm going to quickly share some tips on how to collaborate. I have about 7 of them. Now, the and I'm more focused on women because this is a women's summit, right? Okay, it's not a women's summit, but I want to assume that we have more percentage of women, who are in would what this summit is designed for, right? So and because I have a startup, I have a platform for women. I want to focus more on women, because if you look at the whole idea of collaboration, really, if we're not going to be pretending, we women have a lot of things to do when it comes to showing genuine love to one another. We are the one who, I don't know if I can use the word beef, right? So you see your fellow woman who doing something, you're not even willing to support or clap for her. I know the theory is changing, the narrative is changing. More women are becoming more, they are coming out more to support other women. But we have to keep making the noise until it goes viral, until, you know, a percentage of women, at least 85% of women around the world, will have that sense of collaboration, that sense of showing love and being genuinely supportive of their fellow women. We have to keep making that noise until a lot of us grasp it. So the first point I want to make is form a women community or be an active part of one. So if you want to collaborate more with women and to help other women achieve their potentials, create a community, a global community or a local community where more women can be free to open up to themselves, patronize themselves, you know, go all out and do things for one another, right? And if you cannot create such community, you can be a part of one, an active part of one. And I love the Mogulets Africa community, for example. I founded it, but I want to boldly say to you today, I've been in the UK for over 5 months. I've been so busy with work, with my life, trying to figure things out on my own, trying to write my book and everything. Sometimes I don't even go on the group for 2 weeks. I don't even say anything, but I see the messages and everything. I see how women are bonding. I see how they are sharing ideas. I see how they are recommending each other for jobs. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel good. I feel like, wow, yes, I've created something that can even outlive me, if I can use that word, because it has gone beyond me now. And it wasn't like that when it started. When it first started, it was more like, oh, everything is centered around me because I have to coordinate this, I have to teach this, I have to tell them to do this and everything. But at some point, I left the platform and it is running itself, because every woman on that community caught the vibe of, okay, this is us, this is our platform. We have to support one another, we have to love one another. All right. So and I'm so happy that is going on. So form a women community or be an active part of one. And when you are part of one, make sure that your impact is felt. Don't be afraid to, give what you can to boost that community. Number two, share opportunities with other women. Not everything is meant for you alone. Share opportunities. If you see a link for a job post and you know that there is someone on the platform who can do this job, post the link there or even send a DM to that person. I do that a lot of times. When I see on the group, oh, this particular person is good in ushering jobs, I just go to that person's DM. Hello, sis. I know if I drop this on the group, you might not see it. There is this job. Okay, hello, sis. There is this contract somewhere. Do you want to apply for it? There is this, okay, maybe you just wrote a new book, or there is I work in the media industry. I'm a media personality. I've been in the media for over a decade. So I have contacts. So I'm just going to say, okay, you need to promote your book. So I do all those stuff. So if you share opportunities with women, because really everything is not meant for you. You can't eat it all. If you eat it all, you're going to be a glutton. You're going to be fat and you just die. So it's good. There is love in sharing. Sorry about that word. Sorry. I'm just trying to be more expressive. There is love in sharing, sisters. There is love in giving back. There is love in sharing opportunities with your fellow sisters. Okay. I said it on my post, I think it was 2 days ago. Do not feel threatened by any woman's success. No woman is your enemy. Okay, you have to focus on your own growth so you don't see, the rising of any woman as a threat to your growth. She's not your problem. You have to face your own problem and be the best version of yourself. You have to focus on yourself so that you can evolve and become all that God has created you to be. Stop looking at the success of other women or talking down on their successes. So it's all encompassing. Be there. share opportunities, share ideas. Let us all grow together. And I want to say this in passing also. If you have a female friend or you're in a female community and you know that, oh, you have a brother who is very good, who needs a wife or anything, do not be afraid to introduce your friends, female friends, sisters on the community to your brothers for marriage, to your uncles, your cousins. Just do it. Just introduce them. It's okay if you know that you really. I know some people will say, oh, some women, they don't have good, they're not wife material and everything. So you look for the ones who are for wife materials, who you feel that they're supposed to be married, and recommend them. Be the matchmaker. It's okay. It's okay, sis. You can do that. You can help a fellow sister build a home. You can do that. Number three, cover a woman. Cover a fellow woman. Okay. When a woman comes to you, when someone comes to you, when you are in a female community and they come to you say, oh sis, and this is what I'm going through, cover them up. When someone trusts you enough to be vulnerable with you, do not go around leaking their secrets. Do not go around telling the world, oh, she told me this, she's going through that and everything. No, you don't do that. Now, this is one thing I'm not sure. This is one thing I taught Mogulets from the onset of its establishment. I told Mogulets, I call them Mogulets, people on the platform, because it is Mogulets Africa, right? I call them, they are women moguls basically. I told them, when someone says anything here, no matter how secretive it is, do not go share it outside. Do not copy and paste it somewhere else. You don't do that. If you do that, the spirit of that person is right there on your neck. So always protect a fellow woman. Always be there for them. When they send you a DM to share their struggles, protect them, pray for them, be there for them. Okay, don't go making a mockery about their situation or gossiping about them. You can't do that. If you were doing that before, you need to stop that today. Live right here on the Becoming Summit. You need to stop it. So let's cover each other up. Let's cover each other up. In fact, I was reading a story. It was actually a woman who recorded a video where a man a woman was naked. I think she was involved in a sex scandal, and then the woman recorded the video and posted it online. You can you imagine that? I don't think it's good enough. We can't do that. We can't do that. We should be, preventing the society from the men from body shaming women, and the society for objectifying women. We women should not be working against ourselves. We should be loving ourselves more. We should be supporting one another directly or indirectly. And another point I want to make is it's important that instead of you to gossip and say bad things about a fellow woman, when someone comes to you for help or you know that they need help, pray for them. Pray for them. In fact, when we first started kicked off Mogulets Africa, it's one thing we do every Tuesday. We pray, we fast and pray. It's like a routine, right? We do that because I know that there is power in corporate prayer and there's power in individual prayers. Sometimes I might not be on the group, but when I'm praying, I'm saying, God, please protect every woman on the Mogulets Africa platform. And I know God will do that because I've already prayed for them. So imagine if someone does that for you every day. You don't even know who is praying for you. All right. Today, I could say, oh God, let this event be a success. Saying that alone means that I've prayed for Ejiro, right? So it's very important that we just focus on that. So don't forget, the topic is the power of collaboration, because when you do all these things, it also adds values to your life. It also beautifies you. It also gives you a sense of purpose and makes you a better person and a better wife and a better mother and a better sister. All right, because you know that you are not thinking for yourself alone, you're thinking for others. We are women, we are created to nurture, right? So how do you nurture if you don't have that sense of collaboration, that sense of help, of reaching out to other women, right? So it's very, very important to do good things, because you know that only good things will come back to you. Sometimes we do some of these things, you don't even know when you're going to benefit from it. You don't know who is going to benefit from it. It could be your child, it could be anything. It could be a relative of yours. So let's always do this. Now, this next point I'm about to make is very, very important. Very, very important. Support other women's businesses like you do for the celebrities you don't know. We're all over the Instagram and Twitter and everywhere. everything. We always the next music of this celebrity, or the next business launch of a celebrity, or women who will feel that, oh, they're there and everything. But the immediate woman that is at your level, who is growing, who you know, who is your friend, who you're on the same platform with, you don't even like her post and you're following her on Instagram. Wait, as what? As a monitoring spirit? Someone posts an idea. Oh, I today I set up my business. Oh, someone I did this, and then you just ignore that. I remember this joke when I don't think it's a joke. It was one of these motivational speakers that said it, that I think we should have business showers also. We should organize business showers for our friends as much as we organize baby showers, because really life is not all about marriage and kids. There's some women who are finding their fulfillment in setting up businesses. So imagine you go through all the toils of setting up businesses, of being a startup, and there is no one out there to celebrate you genuinely, to put your face out there and say, yes, I celebrate my friend today. She's the CEO of Mogulet Africa. Oh, I celebrate Ejiro Osakede today. She's the founder of the Becoming Summit. You know? And she's working out of night. She's doing my baby own proposes every. Oh my God, your page is viral. Congratulations, congratulations. As if that's all there is to life. I'm not against the whole idea of relationship. I love it. Okay, I am an eternal romanticist. I love love. I'm experiencing it. Okay, it's a beautiful thing. But please don't let us get lost in some of these things. Let us also focus on the things that brings value to other women, things that makes life more meaningful. Okay, please. It's very, very, very important that we do that and we look beyond, the the normal things, right? Like, comment, and share that from today. Okay. When they also post nice pictures, the next one is about compliments. Okay. So when they post nice pictures, like their pictures, tell them, sis, you're looking beautiful. Because sometimes we need a reassurance. We all need a reassurance. We all need a if they are beautiful, you're beautiful today. I like what you're wearing. Admire them. And I'm like, wow, when they say this picture is too much and all that. Imagine, sis, I miss you. You're looking so wow. I want to leave those pictures there. I want to leave that video there because someone just admired me. So we all need that. We all need that. And also it's very important that we don't judge ourselves. You don't judge a shoe you've not walked in. There's so many women going through stuff. You don't know what I've been through in the last 5 months. I don't say much of myself on conservative and prude person, but unfortunately, I found myself in the media industry. Yes, but I try as much as possible to keep my private life offline. The so many, but you don't know and share my my range or my mansion or my new book or my new talk show or something. Celebrate with me. Don't start saying, oh, we don't know what she has done. Oh, maybe she has worked to senator or that. No, don't judge other women. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going through. So when they want you to celebrate them, when they put something positive out there, just be a part of it. It's as simple as the more we do that, the more we feel good about of collaboration. The more we know that not each other's enemies. The more we come together, able to tackle whatever problems that we have. Now, I always look at it in rounding up now. Um, we have more percentage of women around the world than men. The world has about almost 8 billion people right now. But I want to say, I think we have more, about 5 billion women, and then men are less. So if we have more women, then we should, we should take over the world more. But that's what I think. I At a point there was a discussion I was having with my cousin back in the UK. Told her Hillary Clinton would have won the year we had the election for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. If in America decide to supporting her, we're collaborating with her, she's winning. Now this year that everyone supported Kamala Harris, do you see what happened, right? So that's the power of collaboration. That is the power of women. If we are not our own limitation, then we have no nation, right? We have nothing is holding us back. We are the only one holding us back. If you say yes, I would not support her, I will not collaborate with her so that she would not grow, you also would not grow. You will think you're growing because you're doing things on your own. You what's the word that they use? I'm facing my life. I'm doing that. You do you. You still you scratch, right? Not, but when you really support other women, you glow together. So, sisters, what I'm saying in summary, as I round up on this beautiful summit, this beautiful conference, the Becoming Summit 2021 with Ejiro Osakede, what I'm saying is, let us collaborate together. Stop competing with other women. The success of you to fix your life and let other women too. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you, and I'm sorry for the earlier network problem. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time, and of course for sharing this depth of a point from the power of collaborations. You really hit the nail on the head, and I want to believe that every one of us in here, we take home some things that we can actually incorporate in our daily lives. All right, now is the time when we will have all other speakers back on, and we'll give every participant the chance to ask questions and of course get feedback. So I am not seeing the comment section busy. What is happening? Is it that you already have your questions in there? Hello. Okay, here now is the I don't know. Is it just me? I'm hearing some kind of feedback. Okay, we still have the speakers coming on one after the other. Thank you so much for your patience, for your time. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Wow, we've spent over 2 hours already, and yes, we're still well adorned with all of the points and insightful things that you have shared with us today. But we want to hear from the participants as well, so we can have more understanding of what you have shared with us today. Still trying to locate where the questions are. Thank you very much. Oh, I hope the internet is not going to fail us at this time when we are getting to the session of discussion.
Sorry. Something.
Actually, could I just ask one of the ladies, I think her name was Brenda, who did ask a question I saw in the chat earlier saying, how can she start her business? Because, you know, there's so many things happening, it's like a maze. And with Tonisha and Adriana and Kai, they all brought to the table how you can start and where to start. And it is really tapping into what you enjoy the most, your passion, your purpose. And sometimes, as Kai said, sometimes it's staring at you in the face. So it's really what I always tend to do with my clients is just get them to write down everything that they enjoy doing, and then it's a process of elimination. You know, why do they like talking to other people? Why do they like to use technology? And then it's just really narrowing it down and enjoying the process, because sometimes we're bombarded by so much, we're influenced by so many people or what we read or what we see, it can become so confusing. So for Brenda, it really is just, you know, sitting down and writing, you know, have a journal, have something that you can start doing to really sort of focus on, actually, I do like this and I don't like this. So you can actually start just a simple tasks of writing things down. That was what I saw, one of the questions in the chat. I don't know whether anyone else can add to that.
Thanks, Helen, for bringing that to the table. I saw that question as well, and it's really relevant because especially nowadays with, you know, so many things happening and people having no money at all, losing jobs, losing opportunities. So what if they have a lovely idea, but what if they have no money to start as well? So your tips are fundamental. I love them. And I would love to add to that. I created for our members in Expats and Entrepreneurs, because we have so many members coming, and especially those who are expatriates. They generally don't know how to start or what to do with what they have. So, for example, one of our interviewees there in the research, they used to be an architect. So she said, what can I do here because I cannot work? So she started doing landscaping. It was a way of being on the same field, but still, you know, do something that was doable where she was at that moment. And we also saw some people working with food, for example. So other than just, you know, selling food, because sometimes it's not allowing you and the conditions are not allowing you. So why you don't start maybe an online course, an online program? So you can teach people to become cookers, to do their own recipes, and then you will be able to take on your passion, something that you're skillful already. And we also have created a model. I have developed this model to our members there in Expats and Entrepreneurs called the PRA. So start with your passion, then go to your resources, and finally move into action. So it's very simple, as you said. It might be like journaling or developing an activity where you can have a list with 3 columns. So the first one will be your passions. You can put 10 things you like to do. In the middle one, you can do the resources. So what do you have to help you build on your passion? And then the final one, you will refine all those combined and have a top 10 or top 5 so you can start with and see if they're applicable to your current reality. So this is my take on that question. Thank you. Thank you, Helen. Thank you all.
Thanks, Adriana.
All right, then. Thank you. Another question popped in mind now. A lot of times, as individuals, not even just saying women now, as individuals, while growing up, first phase of life, it has to be under the parents and stuff. There is this common challenge that a lot of people might have about support. As I'm coming from the average African mindset, where it has to be, oh, I have experienced life, I know this is what is right for you, this is the path you should go. In a situation where somebody finds themselves in that space of, no, I am more experienced, this is the way you go. However, you are still on the lower level of experiencing life. How would you advise such a person to try convince the older person, and by older I mean older in age or experience, to see the clear vision that they see, that no, this is a path that I strongly believe in it. I have the vision, strong vision for it, and I know that building myself, I can actually go through part. What would be the best tips that you would give such a person to convince whoever is taking care of them at that time to agree with them? And that question, anyone can take it. I see, as in the network is taking.
I mean, so can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So if I'm understanding right, what you're asking is, what tips could we give to someone who's going to be pitching to someone else who's more advanced in understanding? Especially what, sorry?
Especially a parent, someone who is in charge of taking care of the person.
Oh, literally like someone who actually takes care of them at home.
Yes.
So this is about inspiring about their company, about their business.
Yeah, it could be about anything. It could be just, it could be, okay, say for instance, let me even personalize it. Say for instance, I want to be a media person, but I'm still an undergraduate in the university. But my parents, my siblings, family, and friends do not see any reason why I should get into the media, especially while I'm still schooling. Perhaps they see it as, okay, it is a distraction, it is not the line we want you to go, we prefer you go into engineering because perhaps we've exhibited some traits that would be. But personally, I see growth in the media. I found mentors. I want to go that path. How would you advise that I speak with my parents to convince them to be on my side?
Okay, so thank you for expanding on that. I mean, I had we all had this situation. Even I had this situation when I was much younger. So my first career path was actually being a film and television producer. And of course, my family wanted me to do more formal things than work in film and television because it didn't really make much sense to them. But the best way that I found to actually communicate my interest to them was firstly by respecting and understanding what their interests, right? So they've got perfectly good logical reasons, parents usually do anyway, for suggesting that people take a particular career path. Perhaps in their time of living, they found that those career paths provide the most stability, the most opportunity, either for people of your own demographic or just in the world in general. And in their perspective, they just want the best for you. So really understanding what they perceive the best for you to be is the first step, right? So if they perceive that to be financial stability, then really you need to question and look into the path that you're taking and figure out, does that come with financial stability, right? And at which point does it come with financial stability? After how long? So in my time as a film and television producer, I was lucky because the producer actually makes quite a lot of money, handles the money, etc., etc. So I was thinking a good thing. But the first role that I'd wanted to be in was actually a sound recordist. And again, sound recordists make a ton of money. But there was actually a career progression issue with being a sound recordist, which is that You can only make the most money on big projects. And most of the time, the first people on that film project or series or Netflix show will be the only people on that show for a very long time, unless they choose to leave or something drastic happens. So yes, of course, it has the opportunity to make, the media has the opportunity to make money. It does provide a lot of instant gratification, all those things, but that's all very superficial. And so the chances are the family member is aware of that superficial aspect. And what you need to do is you need to also be able to know about the sustainability aspect of those career paths, right? So, okay, but after 5 or 10 years in this career, or 5 years, try to keep it minimum in this career, would I be able to afford all the bills? Would I be able to look after myself? Would I be able to afford to raise a family? In the event that I no longer had the physical strength to do that particular job, would that job or career path from going down, would it still look after me? Because that's what they're asking about. You know, when parents tell us to be lawyers, doctors, etc., it's because they know they get good sick leave, they get good pay, they get health insurance. So prove that what you're doing will get that too. That's all you have to do. And that's what I did. And I proved it really, really well. And eventually, actually, I was the one that chose to stop doing that and to go down the education path, because I'd always been doing two things, media and teaching. And that was the other aspect as well, which is that just because you don't want to do what the other person wants you to do full time, doesn't make it a bad thing for you to be doing. And there's no reason why you couldn't apportion a segment of your time to doing that, to build on that credibility. So I've been teaching for coming up to 19 years, and 19 years later, I am an associate dean, right? But I haven't always been teaching full time. I haven't always been teaching the same age group or in the same environment, but I have kept that consistency there, which was really given to me by my grandmother. She was a teacher, and she insisted that I become a teacher. I didn't think it'd be any good, but look at us today. We're having this conversation, which clearly probably has progressed out of the fact that I did that in the first place, you know? So yeah, just remember that they have your best interests at heart, and make sure that when you choose an alternative path, that alternative path still considers your best interests, and especially the interests that they are looking out for, because they might be interests that you have just not got an awareness of yet based on lack of age or experience yourself. That is what I would say on that.
Does anyone have an addition to what has been said, please?
I totally agree with Tonisha, because I'm coming from the other side. So I have adult children. So my eldest daughter, she's 38, and then my son is 29, and my youngest daughter, she's 27. So for them, they've gone down that traditional route in terms of, okay, yeah, the education and the job, but now what they have found is that they have that solid background and experience and knowledge, and they're actually finding their own passion and purpose. So with my eldest, she runs her own business. My son, he went down the route of being a quantity surveyor, like his dad, but now he's looking at his own talent and his skills, and he's more creative. So he's carved out his own passion, but then has that background in terms of, just like with Tonisha, having the information and the skills and the knowledge to fall back on. And it's actually helped him with his, on the creative side, because I can see that he's a lot more organized, because he's gone down the educational route as well, but he's also found his passion and his purpose. So, and it is about, you know, will they be okay? Will they have that security? Will they have the money to survive? But also, it's understanding that they have to step into their own passion and their purpose, and support them when they do that as well, because I think it's quite important that we do allow our children to become their own, and as Kai was saying, to become their best self as well.
No, fantastic. Thank you. Do you want to add anything to that, Adriana?
I would love to add that it's also very important, after you've done all those steps, maybe to consider finding a mentor, talking to someone who is already in that field, and also trying to research more on the internet and find what are the pros and cons of that area specifically, and see if that really goes on your way, on your direction, and if it's really what you want to do. And you will only know that if you try. So hands in action and get going.
Okay. Okay. I have a question here now for Tonisha, and this person wants to know. We need clarification on if getting into business, which is most preferable or more profitable, to sell what people want or to sell what I want.
Okay, so when we're in business, the only reason we exist is to serve. Okay, that's the only purpose of a business. Someone already has their whole life going on. There may be a mother, a father, a carer. They've got their whole life going on. They need something to do with their life. It's got nothing to do with you. And so they look for that thing, and it's a coincidence, or maybe it's part of your amazing marketing strategy, that they then find your product or service to be the solution to their prior existing problem. Now, the chances that you're going to make more money from solving the problem that you want to solve as opposed to solving the problems that exist in the world are slim to none. The best thing to do is to always look into the market, find out what people want, and do that. I always recommend, if it's your first business, even your first 3 businesses, look around, just Google on the internet, what are people buying the most? What are people looking for? What is selling the most? And just go with one of those. Keep it simple, because that's what people want. That's what they're putting into the internet. That's what they're searching. That's what they're buying. That's what they're paying money for. Now, once you've used those opportunities, those kind of businesses to make money and to have an income and to build a team, to make the mistakes, to learn, etc. Once you've done all of that, and you've developed some financial money management, staff management skills, then of course you can now go down the path of your dream, right? But bear in mind, over 70% of products and services in the market are never bought by anyone. And the reason is because no one told you they wanted them. No one asked you for it. So, and that's across the world. So if you've got over 70%, even an average supermarket, over 70% of things never leave the shelf. So even the supermarkets are stocking up of things that customers haven't asked for, right? People will always buy what they need. And that's what you should focus on for your first business. That's the most profitable idea, the most profitable way. The other reason you should go with something like that is because of the stability, right? So the cost of being an inventor rather than an innovator, which is taking something already existing and adding value, making it extra special with your little special sauce. The cost of being an inventor for going to market can be really expensive, because you have to teach people that this thing exists. So if you think about it, for example, the Samsung Galaxy Fold, my phone, people know it exists, but Samsung has spent years trying to convince people that this phone exists and trying to convince people it works and it's good. I have one, I use it all the time. And when people see it, they're like, oh, wow, does it really work? So if you imagine how much money Samsung's already spent educating the market, and they see me holding one, they're like still asking, does it work? Yes, it works. It folds, it opens, it works. Right? So unless you've got enough of a big budget to educate globally, or to at least educate your target segment, there's no point going down the route of invention until you have that. And that's why you'll find those things with people like Elon Musk. Now he's doing all of his invention because he's already made is making his money from the cars, from PayPal, from so many other investments that he has. It appears as though he's making money from being an inventor, but he's probably not making any money from being an inventor. He's probably transferring funds and revenue from his innovations and existing businesses which serve existing customers. So that'd be my answer.
All right. I really hope that answers your question that was sent in earlier on. Okay, so the next one, I believe this is directed at you, Helen, and it is asking, based on your topic, networking effortlessly, how this, let me read as the person sent it. How best would you advise that one builds a network and forms a team?
I would suggest to, and I think all the speakers have said this, is to really look at a community. So first, really sort of join a community, whether it's on a WhatsApp, whether it's on Facebook, and then just really see what they're doing, what's being discussed, because sometimes you can actually find out what you enjoy, what you do like, by joining. And then for me, for Women Talk, it was all about what I wanted women to know about and what I wanted them to share about. So it was really looking at them building their confidence, them sharing, as Adriana was saying earlier, about their story. And we created a chapbook to really document their stories and help other women. So sometimes it's really sort of looking at what other groups are doing, whether you enjoy the interaction there. As Pat was saying, that collaboration could be one thing as well. And it could be just one or two. It doesn't have to be a whole group. It could be 2 or 3 friends coming together and then starting something, discussing a real issues that you're passionate about, and then allowing that to grow, promoting it, writing about it, creating newsletters, pictures, posting it on social media. So it can start off small, but it can really mushroom into something that can benefit and have a ripple effect on everyone. So sometimes it could be just 2 or 3 friends, or joining a group and seeing what they do. So I hope that helps.
Oh, really hoping that it helps. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so that we wouldn't take too much of your time, I guess we will be going to this next question that is currently on the screen. But I understand that, Tonisha, you have to go. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for having me.
Deeply appreciate you. Let's say a big thank you to Tonisha for our time here today.
Thanks, Tonisha.
Thank you.
All right, then. So, guess we'll just gradually wrap this up as we get onto the question. I'm trying to see the question on the screen, but I'm so sorry I cannot read from here. I don't know if you can read it and get a response to it for us.
What I can see here is that what would they advise on getting a team to help for career professionals who have businesses as well? I could start building on that. So when you are part of a network of support, like our community, for example, we have experts that will be able to partner with you and understand your pains. So this will be really important, because the major issue for businesses is like they want to understand what is going on and what they need to improve at. So for their perspective to be enhanced and amplified, when you go deeper and understand what the gain they can have out of that, partnering with someone that is experienced on the field will really be an added value and will be a return on investment for their businesses. I hope that answers the question.
I hope it does. Trying to look through again. Do we have more questions here? Should mention how? Should mention?
Okay, so let me help you with that, Zazie, with the next question. Well done. Like, you guys have been amazing. We're almost rounding off right now. The question on the screen says, this is from Olaronke Agbala. It says, from Adriana's story, she mentioned how she used to live her life in compartments, right? As a woman who is in compartments. As a woman who is constantly evolving, how can one avoid compartmentalization? Did you get that,
Can
Adriana?
you hear? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear. Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Okay, so
can
no,
you hear
I
me?
can't, but it's okay. As long as you're hearing me, I'll keep talking. I believe the question is for me, right?
Yes, yes.
I'm reading your lips. So I'm good. I'm having my glasses on. Okay, so from my own experience, what I did, I was trying to live my life based on those compartments and to avoid that trap for instance, is when you put yourself first, as I said. So I was able to detach from those compartments, and I was able to see from a different perspective which areas I should really focus on. And when I understood my paper in that scenario, my roles and the identity I could take and build on, it was easier for me to start living each area of my life with more intensity. And I could, for example, be a better mother. I could be a better wife. I could be a better professional. And that also took the weight off my shoulders because I was doing something for me. So I was prioritizing myself, but as because I knew where I wanted to go from what I had at that moment. So this is what I did to avoid these compartments. And I can't hear you. Sorry. I will try to log off and log in again if that helps.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But I really hope that everybody else can hear me. Ellen, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I just wanted to. This is a question I would have loved to throw to all five speakers, but let me just drop it here. Are there books that you can recommend? Maybe one, two that you can recommend. One of the life-changing books that you have read.
Life-changing. I've recommended some books as part of our Women Talk WhatsApp, and one of the ones that's quite popular that's come up is the title's just gone out of my head at the moment. It's to do with habits, atomic habits. That's it, atomic habits, because it's doing something on a regular basis, just, having to do something small and make it into a habit. When it becomes a habit, it becomes ingrained and it becomes a routine. So when Kai was talking about negative thoughts that we have, or we're being surrounded by negative news or people, that can get stuck in our heads, and our behavior tends to go towards negativity, and what we say can be negative. But if we reintroduce, retrain, and start pulling together positive affirmations, listening to music in the morning. For me, what motivates me is gospel music. So I get up and the first thing I put on is gospel music because it elevates my spirit. It taps into those really, positive thoughts that I can have, and that sets me up for the day. So having these habits can really turn into positive daily routines. So Atomic Habits is a really good book to read. And we've also developed some chapbooks as part of Women Talk, and we've captured stories from women who have gone through challenges, but it was not focusing on those challenges, it was focusing on how they got through those challenges and the positive attributes and affirmations and all of the things that they went through, which has been an inspiration for other women, because sometimes we can feel that it's just us going through it and not everyone else. So when we do share our story, as Adriana was saying earlier, it has an impact. I always say, if you share your story, you can save a life, because you don't know what that other person is going through.
Okay, thank you for that. Adriana, do you have any book titles that you want to recommend for us to read? Please.
First of all, I wouldn't agree more, and I couldn't agree more with Helen, because when you have your story shared, it makes it easier for people to identify and to resonate with what you are doing, with what you are, sharing. So this is special, and I love the power of storytelling. Thank you for that. And In terms of books, I'm very much into coaching and entrepreneurship lately. So one of the things that are coming to me is about being resourceful. There is not a specific name that is coming to my mind, but I can share with your audience later on. But being resourceful, being whole, and being on top of your life. So that's what I can share now.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for actually bringing us there. I am imagining that this is going on in the heads of the participants right now. Oh, fantastic women, fantastic stories, insightful sessions. How can I connect with them? Can you be my mentor, please? If somebody has this kind of questions, what would you say to them? Let me start with you, Adriana.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear Zazie, my dear Eddie, for sharing this platform here. And again, I think this is a very safe space for us to connect, to learn, and grow together. And to me, the message of this summit is the sense of these womenhood or sisterhood. So this is something we really need to start building on. And what I loved about what Helen said is collaboration over competition. Always, when we understand that we are able to partner together and move from one point to another without those feelings, and with this shift in the mindset, we are able to progress, we are able to grow, and we are able to flourish. So be safe, connect with us, and thank you again for this amazing opportunity.
Okay. And also just, well, the collaboration was for, that was Pat's session. I did mention briefly in my talk about offer, collaboration, promote. But yeah, when Pat was talking about collaboration, I think that's quite key. And I know now a lot of people, including women, do need to have the support, the mentoring, the coaching. And what I do offer is coaching sessions. So they can get in contact with me, Helen at womentalktoday.com. I do have coaching sessions, and I will also be promoting and launching a career development program that I wrote a few years back. It's an award-winning career development program, and it's been translated from a workbook to an e-course, and that will be coming out soon. So any information that they need, they can really sort of just put in Helen Maria Tucker in Google, and they can see. So, but I'll be quite pleased to support anyone who's going through career change or wants to have some business support.
And Helen, sorry, Zazie, before you say something, I love what you said as well. And one thing that came up for me while we were talking about the program and the offers, and going back to a book, I remembered of Brené Brown with The Power of Vulnerability. So this is the book I would leave as my quote. And please connect with us as well if you want to try a session, or if you want to try one of our networking meetings, because we host monthly meetings on expats and entrepreneurs. And our website is, if Eddie can help me because I can't type here, I'm on the phone, is www.expatsandentrepreneurs.com. And I'm on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me and Expats and Entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Awesome session. As if we should end, but of course, I guess you have filled up enough for today. We are digesting it, and of course, we hope to put this into action. I must say we cannot thank you enough. We cannot, and this is addressing every single speaker that has addressed us today. And of course, to the brain behind the entire summit, EJ, who is here, the convener. I guess you have some kind of, did we say vote of thanks? that you want to
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zazie. You did an amazing work with this hosting today. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Adri. Coach, you just amazing. You've been amazing. Thank you, Helen. I love you. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody who is in the comment section. I see you. Or Oreoluwa, I see you. Olaronke Agbale, I see you. Mamuzo, I see you. Joy, I see you. I see all of you. Mani, the guys who joined in between, and all my lovely sisters from across the globe, I see you. Thank you so much for making this a success. I mean, if you didn't show up, there wouldn't be a Becoming Summit. Thank you for coming. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for being here. I love you all totally. And this is just day one. So imagine what day 2 and day 3 is going to look like. So please do join, do share the link. This is going to be up for a while. So do share the link so that people can watch it and see that we're not just here to play, right? We got value, right? And for everyone who signed up, don't worry, you're going to get the details of all the speakers so that any one of them connected to you while they were speaking and you want to connect with them further, you can get their contact details. You can, follow them on social media and just connect with their community. Because, for example, today is about communities, right? So for you who are in Nigeria or Kenya or any other part of the world, and you want to connect with women from different parts of the world, these are communities that you can belong to. You can either join the Mogulate Africa, or you can join the expats if you're an expat, or if you're an entrepreneur, you can join that. For Tonisha, you can join the Ladies Entrepreneurship Boot Camp or the club. It's amazing there. It's been mind-blowing for me. I'm on that course, and it's been amazing. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing business. I should have gone through this course first before starting the business. So you can be a part of that. And then the Women Talk Today network is such a breath of fresh air, right? It's a place where you are safe, where you can be connected, where you can be celebrated, right? And so you can be a part of that community as well. So all the communities, all the speakers here today have their own amazing communities that you can be a part of. And it's international. So if you want to connect with international women, you know what I'm saying, you got to be part of those network. But just kind of, go with the one that cuts across your heart the most. And if you want to be a part of all, nobody's stopping you. You're able to handle it. Why not? I'm a part of all the communities. So, I mean, if you can handle it, if you've got energy, go for it. But if not, be true to yourself. The whole point is be authentic to yourself. Do what you can handle. Take in as much as you can handle. Thank you so much for being here today. Tomorrow is another day. Same time tomorrow, 10 a.m. Nigerian time, 1 p.m. Dubai time. That'll be 9 a.m. Ghana time. That'll be
9
8
a.m.
a.m.
UK.
I know, right? 8 a.m. UK time. It's just 9 a.m. UK time. So it's just like a lot. We have speakers coming from all over. One of our speakers tomorrow is connecting all the way from Houston, and it's about 9 hours, ahead. So she's going to be like early morning on a Saturday morning at 4 a.m. She'll be like, yeah, that's love. I feel so loved. And so thank you guys for also connecting with us. This has been amazing. Please do share your tweetable moments. Share on your stories on Instagram. Tag me. Use the hashtag The Becoming Summit or TB Summit. Just use the hashtag TB Summit, and please tag me. I'm going to be reposting on my story as well. I love you all. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on notifications so that even if you don't check your Telegram channel or you don't check your email, you at least get a notification when we go live on the channel that we are live. Okay? Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Zizi. Bye.
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 Thank you. All right. Bye.